Some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, but really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools. Power tools. Power tools. Power tools. Power tools. Yeah, you just plug them in the wall and think of all you can do. You can plant a garden, fix your car.
The studio is a little bit messed up for the Home and Garden show today, but we're figuring it out. I got Terry Lynn Stacy. I got Jack Phipps from, the Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. And this is it. Allison's off. Sullivan's off. But we're going to have a good show. Jack, thanks for coming in, man. You have to hit the on button, buddy. Hit here.
Okay, now we're off to a great start. Good morning, guys.
Well, it was we're going to have to work on Terry. Terry, give us a mic level. Just start. Check. I don't hear you. I thought you were going to use this mic anyway. Hey, it's the Home and Garden Show. We're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basement. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. It's 844-FIX-INDY. Once again, they renewed their sponsorship. We're delighted to have them, and we might be hearing from them a little bit later. Terry, are you back in business?
How about now? Oh,
That's a little loud, but yeah. I won't have solid stools for a week.
and there's an echo.
That's been in here.
Nice,
since,
though.
It's nice, isn't it?
Sort of nice.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Hey, Ethan, are we able to take calls yet? Yes, we can take calls? All right, then I'll give out the number. 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393. It is the Home and Garden Show. We're delighted to be here with you on this first Saturday in January. Terry Lynn, what'd you do for the holiday?
Well, basically the same thing we do every night. We sat around in our pajamas and watched the ball drop on TV. I think it's the worst night in the world to go out, and for so long we did go out, and I think it's the worst night to go out.
It's pretty tough. How about you, Jack?
I stayed in.
You stayed in?
Did some chores. I just got back from Vermont, so I was a little tired.
Oh, you doing the maple syrup thing?
I did. And I went out there for Christmas. My parents had just gotten a house last year, so we had our first family Christmas out there.
Did it snow?
It did. We got 12 inches.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I bet it was beautiful.
It was.
That's where they always did the Bing Crosby movies, White Christmas and
Isn't there a
Holiday Inn
movie that was set called Christmas in Vermont?
I think so, yes.
An older movie.
I think so.
I haven't seen it myself, but I've been told, kind of picturesque.
Do you have any traditions or superstitions or anything that you do?
So my family's big on that rabbit. So, the first thing we say, first day
It's
of
rabbit,
every
rabbit.
month.
Whoa. I haven't heard this one. Well, rabbit. What do you mean?
So it's like an Old English kind of tradition where the first thing you say every first day of every month would be rabbit. So when you wake up, you say.
And the reason for that is?
Good
It's
luck.
to keep the evil away for the year.
I wish I knew.
Okay. Hey, speaking of evil, have any of you seen the sequel to Wicked, the new one that's out?
It's streaming now.
And that's how I got to see it, because I'm not going back to a theater for a while.
Did you love it?
I really did. And everybody who had seen it, nobody would tell me whether it had a happy ending. They say, I'm not saying. And I could see how some people could say it wasn't a happy ending, but I was delighted with it. It is really a good
I haven't seen the first or the second.
Well, you got to see the first.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would make sense.
But they tie it all in together. Who was the Tin Man? Where did the Tin Man come from?
Yeah.
The Cowardly Lion. And then who was Scarecrow? And all of a sudden you begin to say, wow, I never saw this. All we saw
It's a great
was
story.
Judy Garland,
Right.
But for the record, I thought that the Cowardly Lion, or the lion in this thing, was a wimp. I mean, he was just a wimp. He wasn't a coward. He didn't even know how to say thank you.
I still love watching the original Wizard of Oz every year when it's on. I still love it. Yeah. And the older you get, the more you notice things just the transition in color and all those other little bits and pieces. You have to know it behind the scenes. Are we streaming, by the way?
Oh,
If you're behind the scenes, you must be watching what's going on. And everybody just a tiny bit distracted because we've got limp mics today. And they're falling and they're, they're just, they're limp. See
if
you just saw. You saw.
Get that done. Hey, listen,
Jack
if you've got a question, I do have Jack Phipps here from Allisonville Home and Garden. He's going to have some tips for us today. We're going to have the Pepper Ladies. The Pepper Ladies are coming in.
Ooh,
at 10
I'm so
o'clock.
excited for that.
Me too. And they say they've got some good things. We're going to talk about the seed swap. Those of you who live in Hamilton County, Terry, they might even accept a Hancock County gal
to come and see. I don't have any seed to swap.
Well, you can buy them too. I mean, or you can. They're really gracious. They'll give them to you.
Seeds. It's part of my New Year's resolution this year.
What?
Seed starting. Gonna stick
starting?
to it. Yeah.
Jenny Lambert's coming in with Tiny Ike. They're the Pepper Ladies.
Yep.
And she's got some very rare pepper seeds that she has propagated from her last year's crop. So I'm sort of anxious to see it. And then, of course, we won't have any taste for 4 or 5 days because they're going to burn our taste buds off.
But
it is kind of that time, when gardeners and growers get very excited. They got through the holidays and now they start thinking, right, and planting and planting those seeds. You would start doing that pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I'd say you're not doing it yet. Some things like the hot peppers do take a long time to germinate, but most seeds, I'd say you're starting towards the end of January, beginning of February.
Good sunshine and, put them out on the kitchen.
Yeah. What do you want to grow? What are you going to try to grow?
I'm less interested in vegetables, more interested in like the cut flowers this year.
Oh, the cut flowers.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, do you guys have you seen the news about the gardener, the very famous gardener from Wisconsin that was murdered in Antigua? She
No.
has a place in Antigua, and she goes back and forth between Wisconsin. She's very, very famous as a garden owner, as a garden shop owner. She was on a horseback ride, and somebody jumped her and bludgeoned her.
I had not heard that.
And they got her to the Antigua hospital, and then they airdropped her. I mean, they got her in a private jet and got her back to Wisconsin, but she passed away this morning.
Oh.
I can't believe it. I mean, you'd think that everything's safe. She's on a horseback ride, and then all of a sudden she gets attacked. But,
It's sad.
I hope Sullivan's safe.
Antigua, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
You
lot.
hope Sullivan's safe in Florida?
Yeah, in Florida. There's
My
a
daddy's
lot of,
going on a
there's
horseback
a lot
ride.
of people would like to bludgeon him sometimes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, all right.
All
Happy
right.
New
Our
Year,
number.
Pat, wherever you are.
He's listening. 317-239-9393. When we come back, we might do a little bit of predictions ourselves because it's a new year, and that's what you do. And we have plenty of room for your phone calls. We're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 239-9393. Get on board, and we'll see if we can help you. It's not the first day. It's the Home and Garden Show. 93 WIBC.
I don't hear you.
Let's try it again. You really don't hear me?
This is, what? Let's try to do better this time.
Ethan, can you bring up this mic? Check. Oh,
You're
this
good.
is great.
You're okay now.
We're getting better now. We're getting better.
Okay. Let's
Feeling
all just
right at
smile
home.
at the camera. Everybody just
right.
watch the camera.
All right.
Look at Ethan. And just start over.
I'm getting tickled here. Everybody is on vacation, including the engineers. And the only reason I know that is because the attendance taker is Pat Sullivan down in Fort Myers, and he just sent me. They said all the engineers are off. So we're on our own, kids.
But we do have quality control from afar.
From afar.
Right. Right.
Did you guys make any New Year's resolutions? Do you do that stuff?
Go ahead, Jack.
I used to. As a kid, you'd always have some stupid one you want to try to do. But in the past few years, I've been trying to do some more that are just based on things around the house. Things that I want to get done, but I never seem to follow through with.
I heard a philosophy this week, and I sort of like it. Just stop doing one bad thing. And I thought, I can do that.
It's an easy one.
Yeah, I probably swear too much.
Yeah.
I complain every so often.
Oh, not you, Denny Paul.
Now, listen, you asked Terry what I showed her this morning. Was it exciting? It's the first time I've ever taken Terry into the men's restroom, but tell him why.
Okay, so he says, follow me. And I got to show you something really cool. And I thought, well, Okay, maybe he's found a microwave or something in our floor. So he's worth following if he
what
knows
was so
something.
exciting?
He
And
took
you
me
weren't
into the
excited
men's
at all.
bathroom
Yeah.
where he wanted to show me the faucets and how that they turn
Ooh.
on just with a tap.
Yeah, they're the Delta faucets where all you got to do is operate them with a tap on the chrome. And but she was already aware of it. The women obviously wash their hands. The men must not, because not a man in this building would know that those things are automatic.
Those have been around for a while, though.
Yeah, but I've not seen them in a commercial establishment. Terry says she's found them in hotels and stuff.
Hotels.
I feel like the airports. Or maybe
Airports are pretty common, but not touching. Those are photo
The-
cells.
so-
They're done by an
Yeah.
infrared beam, but interesting. Some smart plumber at Delta and Kohler have figured all that type of stuff.
Here was the most fun part about the trip. Then he wanted to talk about it all the way back to our studio.
What,
about
you-
the technology.
Yeah, about how you
and-
become the ground, and that shuts off the circuit.
Right, and he's.
You didn't find
he,
that interesting?
He truly is. Everybody will sometimes. People will ask me oftentimes, what is Denny like off the air? And I say, well, he swears a lot, and
he's working on
But
it.
I'm working on that right now.
but really, he gets really excited about certain things that most people don't.
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
And that's a great curiosity, and that should be celebrated.
You know how you spell that? N-E-R-D. Nerd. I got my degree in nerd.
No.
But anyway, so are you
But
giving
anyways.
up? Are you
Yeah.
giving up anything, girl? Are you doing
No,
any?
you know what I'm doing? I used to just pick words. And then I'm just kind of giving up on that too, because for like 10 years it was patience. Every year was patience,
Oh,
and
I see.
and you just pick a word and then you focus on that word for the year.
That really is giving up.
And
Not even picking a word.
you just as you get older, you're like, what will be, right? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And me
Wow.
to pick a word,
They
is it
call
going to
that
make me more
fatalism.
patient
Yeah.
in traffic?
Just
Nothing
kinda
you
go
do
I
with
can
the
really
flow.
try, but it's not going to make me more patient when it comes to construction.
Okay. Any new books that you're going to read this year? I got a new book for Christmas.
What did you get?
I got Vitality by Dr. Nick Wilson and his wife Leah.
What's
It
that
is
about?
It's about the medical system has pushed us down a deep path that's not very efficient for people's health. I'm only in the first couple chapters, but I have found it really, really fascinating, and I'm going to finish this rascal.
There's so much going on with healthcare. It really is such a conversation. Feels like for a long time now, but the more efficient you think we get, we've got more hospitals. We've got if you're sick, you've got 15 doctors, and then the liaisons between them, and you think this is it more efficient?
I don't know, but I got my IBJ this week, their year end, where they have the number. They have all their lists, the first to the last in certain categories, and the hospitals in healthcare, they're listed as not for profit, but they are doing billions and billions and billions of dollars in business, and buildings are going up all over. I don't see how they can be listed as not for profit, but I'm not in healthcare, and I don't intend to be the judge on all this, but it's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
all the hospitals are some of the largest employers, and they're all listed as not for profit. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and they anyway.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway. Anyways, Brian Wilkes is going to join us for the weather updates. Terry, how would you describe the weather for the fall? Did we have a fall?
I think roller coaster.
Roller coaster. So I'm going to hold Wilkes' feet to the fire. By the way, Wilkes was just named the weatherman of the year. I don't know, weather forecaster of the year.
Good for him.
Well played. And but I'm anxious to see what the update is for the next 30 days because I'm about sick of winter already.
Me
You know
too.
what though? What we're not sick of, and thank goodness we've got them. The Hoosiers.
Oh gosh, did you watch that game?
I did. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know though, because like David, my husband, my dad was a diehard IU fan. So would never, ever, ever root for Purdue, ever. But I'm wondering if that is reciprocated if there are Purdue fans that are cheering for IU.
I went to IU for 2.5 years before I had to come home and ran out of money and go into night school. But I was always tolerant of Purdue as long as I didn't have the wrong Purdue fans around me. Purdue fans are rabid, and if you get the wrong Purdue fan around you, you get sick of Purdue real quick. Now, I don't know if they think that IU was that way or not, but I love.
Well, I've jumped on this bandwagon, because of it's a fun ride, and I just wondered if that the way it is, if Purdue fans, if there are any of them that are kind of okay, great, this is fun.
I can't believe
so.
it.
I know Purdue fans can be kind of not standoffish, but
well, it goes both ways.
They're
It goes
very
both
proud
ways.
fans.
Like I said, David would have never, even if Purdue was in this spot, he would never at least admit out loud that he was cheering for him because they're an Indiana school.
Well,
no, but I bet at home he's watching, cheering on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just wonder.
this is sort of like politics. When you're in business, you never want to come out as Republican, Democrat, Socialist, and because you're going to lose a customer.
Yeah.
I was subbing for Greg Garrison once, and somebody asked me a question about Obama, and I answered as honestly as I could, as objectively as I could. I get this text message and says, "You're fired." And I'm going, okay, no more politics. I'm not doing Garrison's show anymore. But it's the same way with IU and, Purdue. You better be careful if you're in business and you start bad-mouthing somebody else's team.
Picking a side.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they take it.
Yeah.
They take it so personally, but I don't know.
that house divided, exists for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. I do sort of miss Bobby Knight. He was a lightning rod for
I do
a
too.
lot of fun. Now the chair stuff and his temper, and I don't know.
We tend to somehow or another, as humans, tend to like the bad guys sometimes.
Yeah,
You know?
Oh, yeah.
You can't help but watching. You can't help but watch the bad guy.
sometimes
Also-
the bad. Go ahead.
Also, Indiana was so bad for so long.
Oh, boy.
I think everybody's a little happy for them at this
I think so,
point.
too.
I
hope
just
so.
like finally for
I
them.
hope
And
so.
plus, Purdue. I'll say it. I'll be the heel of the story. Purdue kind of sucks this year. So
Well, that's only
I
in
bet they're
football. In
feeling some of
basketball,
that.
they're smoking.
Right. Yeah.
They're really
Football.
doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people probably don't even know they have a football team.
Be careful.
It's so
That'll make
fun
it
to watch, and now they continue on and giving us something to cheer for. It's kind of cool. I watched the Rose Bowl parade because I specifically wanted to see
the
Sam
Hoosiers?
Goodwin,
Yeah.
Goodman of Speedway.
He was the tuba player.
He was a tuba player. Then we watched for Brownsburg, and the rain was pouring down.
Did
rain.
you
It
see
just
Sam?
poured.
Did you see Sam?
I did not see Sam.
I didn't either. So I was looking for him because you interviewed him last week on the first day.
But we did also the Brownsburg marching band, and they were on TV. They made it on the TV, and it was pretty fun to watch them. But everybody before them, there was these rainy moments when you'd see everybody in there covered up in the plastic as they're marching through to stay dry.
Right.
And then it dried up. Everything was okay, no rain, and then just as Brownsburg comes marching through, it just poured
Harder
on
than
their
it had
beautiful.
all day.
Oh, it looked like it on TV. They had the
we did-
beautiful jackets on that were flowers, and they were so good.
We always used to love. I was a band nerd, okay, and for 4 years we got to march maybe one or two parades, and it was fun. I mean, you think it's going to be glorious. The 500 Festival Parade, it was about 95 degrees and 100% humidity. And then that winter, our band director was from Jackson County, and Brownstown, I think is what it was. And I remember that we followed some sort of horse patrol, and it was before they had the potty bucket, the scooper buckets, and we had white spats. And our spats, we walked through every pile of horse dewey that possible. And the poor trombones, the trombones were in the front row all the way across. They had to knock them down for the rest of us behind them. But
You're not just walking; you're marching.
you're
too.
marching, you're swinging into. But so being in a parade sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe when it's just sunny and 60 degrees, but a lot of times you're freezing.
And Rose Bowl Parade is 5.5 miles long.
Wow.
Which is pretty long.
I'd rather
Ours is-
ride a
parade-wise.
Ours is only
wave.
2 miles
Yeah,
long,
just
right?
2 miles.
That's a long hike.
It is.
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
long way in the driving rain.
All right. Well, it's the Home and Garden Show. Pat's on vacation. Allison's taking a break. I don't blame her. If I had to work with Pat, I'd take a break too. But you do what you do. So Jack Phipps is in here from Allisonville Home and Garden. He's going to have a little presentation about, houseplants we can fall in love with for the bad weather.
Exactly.
I hope that's the case. Coming up, we're going to have In the Weeds, and I'm going to let the studio here decide whether they want to talk about. So you'll be thinking about this. Predictions 2025 realities or artificial intelligence.
Ooh.
And all of that right here on the Home and Garden Show, 93 WIBC. Ethan Patterson always chooses our bump music, and it's always a surprise. I will say that it's always a surprise. Ethan, I didn't ask you, what'd you do for New Year's Eve?
We had some friends over, played some games, watched the ball drop. That never. Did you guys notice that they didn't really show the ball dropping on TV?
I did not.
I did
saw
not.
them practicing in the afternoon about 2:00. They were practicing in New York, and I was just watching the guys.
Were you watching Ryan Seacrest?
Or the main one, whatever
Rockin'
it
Eve?
is.
Dick
Yeah,
Clark.
yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh,
Dick Clark.
are you allowed to say?
He
it?
Oh,
did.
sure.
He
Yeah.
did.
It's Dick Clark.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I turned away real quick and came back. Well, I was watching my phone too.
Mhm.
So I did not see it actually like drop to the bottom. There was supposed to be another one at 2:04 or 12:04 or 12:06 that was going to celebrate the 250th birthday of America.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Oh, I thought
I
that
didn't
was
stay
going
long
to
enough.
happen on the 4th of July.
Were
No,
you
this
hammered?
was
Were you
special.
hammered, or
This
were
was
you really
special New
watching
Year's Eve.
television?
No, I was watching it, but it was like, I swear they went to the countdown.
It's so funny.
And then-
none of us have the same story.
We were all watching the same
Okay,
thing,
hold
weren't we?
on. So the one that I was watching, they started the countdown, right?
Right?
And then they skipped straight to like people kissing. And then as soon as the people got done kissing, it went straight to 2026. Like, I never actually saw the ball drop. I was so
guess I
sad.
wasn't watching the TV specifically in that last 15 seconds. I can't recall.
Oh, no, I'm dialed into the TV. Last 10 seconds of every year, you can guarantee I'm locked
Watching
into
it.
some TV.
You know, I have to admit, when I turned away, it was to QVC because I wanted to see how they celebrated. And they were all in their pajamas and they were sitting on a mattress they were selling.
Okay, so
Did they
And
say
they had
Happy
their-
New
And
Year?
you're
And
worried
they
about
said
me
Happy New Year.
and you're worried
then
about
back
me
to
taking
selling
you
the
into the
mattress.
men's restroom to show you some interesting plumbing, and you're watching people in their pajamas
Came
on QVC.
back to Rockin' Eve. And that's
gosh.
what I saw.
All right, so we have a quiz for you, and Ethan, I want you to participate in this too, brother. All right, so this is called Wait, That's Actually Real. So it's a quiz for you. So you have to tell
Okay.
me which one of these is a real reason that people say that they're stressed in 2025.
Oh, okay.
Okay, stress
Okay.
is over because we're in 2026.
What's the demo?
That,
Are we talking about adults, what they're stressed, or young teenagers?
I would say adults.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to do the ratings game, 12 and up, or do you want to do 21 and up?
12 to 24,
12 to
12 to
yeah.
24,
Let's say
25, 54.
Let's say adults, 21 and older. Okay.
Okay.
Which of the following is a real reason people say they're stressed in 2025? A, their streaming services cost more than their car insurance. B, they're afraid to open their banking app before coffee. C, they forgot which subscription they're still paying for.
Oh, I think it's
I would hope. No,
What
I'm going to say
stresses
B.
people? You're going to say B. Okay, so you said they're afraid to open up their banking
Ignorance.
app.
I think
is
it's
bliss.
A.
I think it's C.
It's all of them.
Oh,
If-
you
if-
didn't give us that option.
Oh, well, come on.
Hey,
Okay,
we're all
you'll have-
winners
You'll
then,
have
right?
the option all the way through. But, if you live through one weekday morning, you know this is true. Every once in a while, I'll think, oh, did that trade go through? And I'm thinking, so I'm jumping onto the website, and I can't see that it's traded, and I'm going, crazy. And then all of a sudden, it has a delayed post or delayed refresh, and I see that it went through. All right, number 2, which of these has actually been blamed for poor sleep recently? Blue light from phones,
Mm-hmm.
doom scrolling before bed,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety about tomorrow's news cycles, and
And all of the above?
the fact that they're relaxing now requires an app. Okay, that's the 4th one. Did you know that in order to relax, a lot of people think that they have to have an app?
Like the Calm app
Yeah.
or
Which one has been blamed for poor sleep?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and guess all of them.
No.
I think it's A.
that
I could
Is it A?
defend all
it's
that.
the
all of
fact
them.
that relaxing now requires an app. You're listening an app, and Pat was telling me about this, that it's either music or it's wave sounds or something like birds.
I think it's Matthew McConaughey's voice. I listened to that one.
He's
So
creepy.
it's more you're
On the
using a
Calm app.
tool.
I don't listen to people that don't wear deodorant. He's
I don't even
gross.
think about that.
Well,
All I hear is that voice.
You think about it if he got
He's
within
telling a
5 foot of
story.
you.
He's great
That's all
telling a
you can
great
think about.
story.
All right, number 3. Which of these things have people seriously debated online this year? Now, have you ever got into one of those debates? You're watching this feud through.
I've seen them, never been involved.
All right,
in
so
one.
which one of these have people seriously debated online this year? Whether daylight saving time should be eliminated. B, whether AI is already smarter than your boss. C, whether 40 hours a week still makes sense. D, whether we should go back to bartering chickens.
Oh, I swear it's
These,
all of them.
these are true.
Pat still listening?
Yeah.
Pat's still listening. He turned off his radio.
I think it's all of them.
It's-
Even the
it's-
chicken story.
The
Yeah.
chicken story is the right answer. There
People
have
will
been
fight
heated
about
I
everything.
know, and that's even without the help of Rob Kendall. You know,
We
they
just got to take a break from it, guys. We just got to take a break from it. It's just too much.
Could be.
Here's the thing: inflation debates have gotten crazy, and all of a sudden, then livestock comes in, or eggs, or something that you have purchased, and when they start arguing about inflation, people have short fuses.
Yeah.
Short fuses.
Yep.
All right. Which modern luxury is now considered essential by many adults?
Mm.
Grocery delivery, noise canceling headphones, a password manager, the ability to ignore group texts.
I'm going to say grocery delivery.
That's a necessity.
Yeah.
All right. Terry?
I think it's all of them.
I've never had groceries delivered. Have you?
I haven't either.
Really?
Yeah.
But I have friends and neighbors that do it and love it.
I know a lot of people that do it through Meyer Kroger. I have a free year of Target delivery, and
Great.
I love it.
Here's the correct answer. It's a password manager. People keep books of their passwords. They have these encryption files that are on apps and everything. But if you don't have one and you're locked out of something, it is a bear to get back in. And people have a lot of anxiety.
It
And
is.
they tell you never use the same password for the same thing. Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. All right, last question.
Mm-hmm.
What do many people say is the most stressful part of adulthood? All right, so making appointments by telephone, deciding what's for dinner every night,
Yes.
remembering passwords,
Yes.
and realizing nobody taught you this stuff. Our parents
I
didn't
don't
tell
think
us
it's-
any of this stuff.
Well, not when it comes to the technical stuff, but how to cook and that kind of stuff for sure.
My mom has a television, and then we're trying to get programmed to the Comcast thing. You're
Yeah.
supposed to put in a code. So she can only get one channel, and thank goodness it's the channel she got. So they're calling a tech in. But, okay, making
My
a
mom
point.
has adapted so well to technology.
Really?
Oh, she can teach me things. I mean, she really has adapted well. So I think, again, what were the
Here
questions?
we go. Making appointments by telephone.
That seems to be a problem.
Deciding, yeah, it's stressful for people who
To
want
pick
to be
up
able
a
to
phone
do
and make it
They
on
don't
a-
want to talk to anybody. They just want to get their place
Okay.
in line. Deciding what's for dinner every night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? Remembering passwords
Yeah.
and realizing nobody taught you this stuff.
I think it's probably, is it back to the passwords or is
I'm
it?
going to guess A.
It's. Okay, I'm thinking about dinner every night. I have this conversation all the
that's
time.
what
I
that's
can't
a
do this
nightmare.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I chose.
Come
Okay,
up with something.
correct answer is D. Realizing nobody taught you this stuff. It's a moment
no.
in adulthood
No, I don't
officially
believe
kicks
that.
you in the shins. I'm just pulling this out.
Nobody taught you.
know?
Maybe
Oh,
maybe
wait.
you're not listening.
Well, wait a minute. We got 2 more questions, smarty pants.
Okay.
Even better.
You ready? Which statement best describes how people feel about technology right now?
oh,
It makes life easier.
yeah.
It saves time. I can't live without it. I miss when things just worked.
Oh boy.
All the above.
Yeah. Can't live without it. Makes things easier.
The
He
voice
was right.
in the booth, that was our divine Ethan. It's actually, progress is great until you need 3 updates just to print. The correct answer is, I miss it when things just worked. When you could pick up the telephone, you could make it work. You log into a computer. Terry, how long does it take us to log into computers here? I mean,
when we first did this, day
Oh,
one
my
for us was a
Lord.
nightmare.
and if
we
you
were
change
trying-
computers, you were using the one on the far right, and I was using this one. I moved into where Jack was 2 weeks ago.
Dude, he was really
and we were starting
so
all
mad.
over again.
This is when I learned about his swearing.
Yeah, you learned about that a long time
was-
ago. All right, here's the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Which phrase instantly drains energy from a room? Okay. We're going to have a quick meeting. Let's circle back.
Ugh.
Just one more thing. This should be easy. Which phrase instantly drains energy from the room?
The meeting.
Just one more thing.
Terry got that one right.
Meetings.
We're going to have a quick
I don't
meeting.
get it.
Because it's never quick and everybody knows
No.
it going into it.
Ugh.
Somebody's going to get their butt chewed or they're going to complain. Here's what they do. Management thinks that when something goes wrong, let's say Jack does something really stupid, they send out an email to everybody in the company and everybody knows it was Jack, but then we have to listen to the
I know.
diatribe. Anyway.
Just for example's sake, though.
Yeah,
It also can set you a lot of anxiety. We sometimes will get notes here that'll say, "We need you to join a meeting in 5 minutes."
5 minutes.
And your heart is like, "What is
Just
this
happened.
about? Yeah,
Yeah.
what happened? What's going on?" And those cause a great deal of anxiety in the workplace. I think
Yeah.
just the thought of it, and it's coming and it's sudden. It's not good. Stop doing that.
I think the single phrase that frightens me the most at work is when somebody comes up to me and says, "Can I talk to you real quick?"
All righty then. It's the Home and Garden Show. When we come back, I've got something for Jack to look over while we're on a break. It's about critters and what we call the winter invasion. And I'd never heard about it, so I printed it out. I'm going to give it to Jack here, and then just see if any of this is for real or not. So those of you who have little paths in the snow, or all of a sudden you're seeing things move around in the garage when you turn on the light, we're going to talk about that. And of course, we got room for your phone calls. I don't even know if our call screener works, but it's 239-9393 right here on 93 WIBC. '93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show. Terry Stacy, Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Ethan Patterson's in the booth. We're here to just share some time with you on I don't know, the sun might be coming out today. I understand it's supposed to get up in the 30s and 40s this week.
I heard that, up in the 40s.
We're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIX-INDY. And one of our longtime listeners, one of our good buddies for sure, JMV. Hey, Johnny, Happy New Year to you, buddy.
Happy New Year to you, Denny and Terry and the other dude in there that I don't think I've had the pleasure to meet just yet, and Ethan and everybody. It's great to be in 2026 in a new studio, Denny. You enjoying it?
Today's the wrong day. Nothing worked when
We've
we
had
came
some
in.
trouble, John.
Yeah,
It's
well,
a rough
that's why I brought it up.
start.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
We started the day.
He was listening. He knows.
We started the day with limp mics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? Denny and I can attest to this. You get a little bit older in this business.
Shut up, John.
These are young, brand
things
new
begin-
mics.
And that's, hey Terry, that's why I will go ahead and use other means in which to, how should I put it, stiffen the microphones. In
How do you
studio.
do that?
And she's worried about
normally-
me taking her into the men's
Normally
bathroom.
normally it's an application. It's a balm that I use. That
Do you
Yeah,
keep that
you're
in a cubby hole here, or a locker? You got that anywhere close that we might be able
Hey.
to borrow it?
I do have a locker down there at the end, but it's got alcohol in it.
Well, I can see this is not a dry January for John.
No, hey, it's never going to be a dry any day probably for me. I'm bucking the trend. Evidently, have you guys seen the trends of the younger generation? I guess Generation Z. They're not drinking as much as, for example, Generation X. And it's a good thing I'm not a part of that because I
for
drink
them.
socially. I drink socially. I don't sit around and drink like remember Ned the Wino?
Yeah.
For example, like on Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
I'm not like or Good Times.
Yeah.
Woody was the wino on Sanford and Son, but Ned the Wino. I don't drink like that, but socially, I activate and enjoy drinking a great deal socially. So, but responsibly.
Responsibly. You know, John, they've really come out with, and Denny knows this, we've had visits from them on the first day, great mocktails. And they really they've come a long way. Wouldn't you say, Denny, when it comes to...
You're talking about the ladies from Orangeley?
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect example.
Good.
And they're doing very well, right, with that younger generation.
They've got a new place right off the Monon Trail. They're also in Carmel on the square at West Clay. And interesting drinks. I mean, if you drink for the buzz, they're going to be different. If you drink for variety and for something different, you'll love the place.
For taste.
For taste, yes.
If you just want to kind of have that
that-
same taste.
Atmosphere, environment, you still get
Yeah.
a good drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, John.
I have a theory about this really quickly.
All right.
I think the whole downhill slide on the next generation not drinking alcohol started when Tom Cruise made that ridiculous speech in Cocktail. Remember?
No.
When he got up on the bar and did the speech he did, and I think everybody goes, you know what? He could be so cool, but why does he got to do this? It's so nerdy. And I think that kind of backed everybody away from drinking, that particular speech. Remember the Singapore sling, the ding-a-ling, the Alabama slammer? So that ran everybody away.
John, I was a student. I was always studying.
Dear.
Hey, listen, Terry and I, and Jack too, the pain that we are feeling for the Pacers, is that going to go away, Johnny? It's painful.
Yeah, they disappoint me, and I knew that it was going to be a struggle, but I thought it would not be this much of a struggle. And the one thing, guys, I want to see out of this team, and I think everybody that loves basketball around here can respect that. I mean, if you're going to go down, you got to go down swinging. I mean, you may, be compromised with injuries, but you got to play it as you would have played it in the playoffs, as we saw what you fell in love with last year. And there have been oftentimes we haven't seen that type of resiliency, and you still owe that to the fans. No, this is not a good year, and they stink, and they don't have their leader, and they've been compromised with injury even more than that. But you still got to go out there and do everything to the best of your abilities. And I think some nights, because you get kind of wound up with the losing, and it really does kind of take over a little bit. Pascal Siakam talked about that last week, and he's one that's not doing that. He's playing hard every night, but sometimes that can take you away from what you really need to be doing. You kind of get swamped with losing, and that's where the Pacers are, unfortunately, right now. And really, swamped in mediocrity is where the Colts have been for the past 9 years or so.
That's why. Thank heavens for the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for you. We've got something really, really fun to cheer for.
So, are you calling that? Any predictions on the Peach Bowl?
Oh, they can absolutely beat Oregon again. They beat them once after in Eugene back in early October. The team that we watched undress Alabama on New Year's afternoon, that team executes at that level and is physical at that level. They're going to beat anybody remaining. I mean, I don't care if it's Oregon, Ole Miss, or Miami. You're going to beat anybody with what they showed. That was a relentless, physical, executing effort. I mean, really top-shelf football no matter who you were playing, and that's what you showed at the Rose Bowl. It was incredibly impressive.
All right, last question. Did you make any resolutions?
You know what, I didn't. I always have a similar one every year. I'm going to go out there and be around fun people and have the most fun I possibly can have, and I'm going to try to live a life, which is impossible, but live as hassle-free as possible, knowing that it won't happen, but I'm trying to have as much fun while I'm here.
Don't skunk it. Now you can do this.
No, I'm not. I'm a realist on it. I'm not going to skunk it. I'm a realist on it. I just I'm not going to go out and look for a reason to shake my fist at the sky and be mad and cry and whine about stuff. I'm going to go out there and be a doer and have some fun, and that's what I just do. I kind of rinse and repeat that every single year. That's just been my philosophy for a while.
All right, John, I'm going to pick up a new instrument. I ran the bagpipes by Jane, and she wasn't interested. I ran the banjo by Jane, and she wasn't interested. Can you give me an instrument that I can take up this year that Jane's going to say, okay?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. What do you need something easier, or you don't care to?
Well, I was thinking about. Well, obviously she didn't go for the bagpipes, and she didn't go for the banjo. I think her brother's playing the banjo right now. So I was sort of thinking maybe a mandolin. I'm going to have to start looking. I played guitar as a kid, but I might take up a new instrument. It's going to be a long winter.
How about a harmonica? Is a harmonica classified as an instrument?
I play the harmonica, and it's kind of boring, John. It really is.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Once you do Oh Susanna and Jimmy
I'm just thinking about this is for your older audience out there. Remember that episode of Andy Griffith, The Loaded Goat, when Barney played his harmonica and led the loaded goat out of town that had eaten evidently all the dynamite, right? That's Barney played the harmonica and led the goat out of town.
The Pied Piper of Mayberry, indeed. Well, John, thanks for calling us. We wish you the best in 2026. And best time to tune in your show after 3 o'clock?
Well, then later on tonight, JMV Takeover, B105.7.
Oh, you're back. It's back.
Hallelujah.
We're back. And it was difficult. New equipment, new software. It took me about an hour and a half to find a rhythm on New Year's Eve when I was in there. But see, that's the thing about it, that we're going to be better with all the new equipment. It's just a process of getting used to it and working all the bugs out. And that's going to take a minute. Just take a deep breath and know that everything is going to be all right.
John,
okay?
It'll be good. It'll be good to have you back. I've had enough of the Christmas music, and I know that sounds bad, but I want John back. Call-in numbers.
We're back.
Yeah, it's B105.7. Starts at 6 tonight and goes to midnight.
Yep, 317-681-1057. And you may take a minute because we're not in the right studio right now. I only have 2 lines, so you can imagine how packed the lines are. So just chill and keep calling, and I'll get to you, and we'll get you on and have some fun. Radio, unlike radio, has been done for decades. We're bringing it back, running it back, and people enjoy the JMV Takeover. Tonight at 6 on B105.7.
Thanks, Johnny. Always good to have you.
Guys. See ya.
Bye, John.
JMV from the Fan, and of course B105 on Saturday nights. It's good to have him back. I like hearing everybody calls it. He's got California listeners, he's got Florida listeners, he's got people in Tennessee, and it's a fun show. If you haven't listened to it, and you can call in too. He just gave out that number, but I get to call in every once in a while.
Sun is shining.
Yeah. Hey, down in the parking lot, I've got 2 ladies standing there waiting for me to get down there and open up the door. The Pepper Ladies, Tiny Ike. Jenny Lambert are going to be in studio here in just a second. So if you've got questions about hot peppers, these really are the pros. I'm sure they've got something that's going to burn our mouth out. It's 317-239-9393. We are brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Grateful for their sponsorship. They've become friends over the years, and they really are the people that will help you through disasters, whether it's wet basements, whether it's water, storms, fire, whatever it might be. You remember this number. It's 844-FIX-INDY, 844-FIX-INDY. It's the Home and Garden Show. Pat is gone. Allison is gone, but Jack Phipps is an able lieutenant in here along with Terry Stacy. My name's Denny Smith, and this is 93 WIBC. Hey, Jarrett, first of all, Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, Denny.
What a rough night. What time did you – how many people got shot?
Well, we had one shooting downtown Indianapolis at the Luger Tower. They said one woman was shot, another woman was injured. She wasn't shot, but she was injured in another form in that same incident. And then this morning on the east side, there were 4 people shot. 2 of them died, and 2 others are at the hospital. Their conditions are unknown at the moment. But a crazy, not even, 12 hours, and we're only into the 3rd day, of course, too, of the new year, and we've had, this is now at least the 2nd homicide that IMPD has reported.
Wild and woolly for sure. All right, we were asking everybody in studio, what'd you do for the holiday? Did you do the New Year's Eve? Did you stay home?
I fell asleep at 9:30 on New Year's Eve.
You didn't tell me you were a married man.
No, not close. But no, that's been a couple years now, back to back, where I've either had to work the next morning, which is fine because I found out I don't mind falling asleep at a decent hour. I don't need to stay up.
Good for you.
And check out the ball drop.
Hey, listen, you might want to mosey over here in just a little bit. I know that there's hot news, but we got the hot pepper ladies.
Oh.
So if you've ever wondered about hot cayenne peppers, this is your big chance.
I like them hot.
Tiny and Jenny are in the studio.
Wonderful.
Jarrett, you take care. We'll talk to you in an hour, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, buddy.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools, power tools, power tools, power tools.
I've been waiting to see these ladies for a long time. I can only get them in studio about once or twice a year, but we call them the Pepper Ladies, and they're a delight. It's Tiny Ike and Jenny Lambert. Ladies, welcome to the Home and Garden Show again.
Thanks for having us. It's so nice to be here. And this time, we aren't even going to torture you.
You're not going to torture us?
We didn't bring anything hot or spicy.
Well, what in the world's that all?
A little bit of heat in there, but not much.
Well,
Nothing that'll ruin our taste buds for the week.
Are we going to have to rename you? we can't call you the Pepper Ladies anymore?
No, you can absolutely call us the Pepper Ladies.
When they walked in, they brought us this which is wonderful. This is tea season to me. As soon as it gets, I love tea all the time, hot tea. And you brought us this peppermint tea, homegrown.
Ooh.
It is homegrown. It is organic. And what I can say is homegrown tea is so much tastier than what you get in the store.
True.
What you get in the store has been sitting around for you don't know how many years. And most of it is grown in China and sprayed with pesticides. And so if you are someone that is expecting a baby, your doctor tells you that you can't have tea from the store. But this is tea that you can have because it hasn't been sprayed with anything.
Easy to make and grow, right? You grow your whatever, your spearmint, your peppermint.
Yeah, so I do spearmint, peppermint, mixed mint, lavender, all different kinds of
tea. Oh my
so
gosh.
good, right?
How about with lavender honey?
Ooh, what a good
Mix the
idea.
lavender into the honey, and it takes on this wonderful just hint of lavender. Oh, so good.
All right, so how do you approach that? I've got a whole patch of catmint. Catmint just goes crazy. Do you just cut it off, let it dry out? How do you do that, Tani?
That is absolutely all that you do. I know it sounds crazy, but all you have to do is grow the herbs and dry them out. And you can do it by hanging them up. You can do it by laying them out. You can do it by using a dehydrator, whatever you want. And it's just going to then be able to crumble easily. You put it in a tea bag and it's ready to go.
You can buy, I hate to say this, you can buy tea bags to load. You can load yourself.
Or a tea ball, too. Could you
Or
put
a
it in a
tea
tea
ball.
ball?
There we
Either
go.
way,
Metal
yes.
tea
Either
ball?
way. It's a little sachet, and you just pull it tight? That's
Yep.
it?
That's it.
That's pretty
So
good.
good.
I know.
All right, so I see a couple of other things there, and we're not supposed to talk about them, you say, but I'm looking at candy here. What is the candy?
So I've started a new business called Tiny's Treats, and you can find us on Facebook at Tiny's Treats LLC. And what we do is we take regular candy that sometimes can be tricky to eat because it's chewy, and I take the water out of it and I fill it with air, and it becomes crunchy and airy and melt in your mouth.
All right, so are you doing that with cold? Are you doing that with, how do you extricate the humidity or the moisture out?
It is a freeze dryer.
It's a
that I
freeze
use.
dryer. How cool
Yes.
is that? And Jenny, I see some bread maybe. What you got going here?
Pass it down.
Well, it's the Christmas bread, and it's Christmas because it has green hatch chili powder in it and red Moscow chili peppers.
Well, Tiny's over here saying you didn't bring anything hot. That looks hot to me.
It's not hot.
It's not. Yeah, I know. It's like you
Savory.
fooled me on that 2 times ago, and I'm not buying that anymore.
And there's some cheese in it.
There's cheese in there too.
Ooh.
All right, so I'm going to hold up the sign that it's going on right now for the seed swap. The seed swap is
I'm sorry, these are incredible.
For Hamilton, the Hamilton County Fairgrounds over on Pleasant Street is having the seed swap, and I think it's, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away? Do you guys remember when
It's
the
always
seed
the
swap?
fourth Saturday in January.
Fourth Saturday in January. And Jenny, you've got some special seeds. Pepper seeds are hard to come by. So tell us about these seeds that you've got at the Hamilton County.
Well, I have the Moscow seeds, which my cousin in New Mexico sent them to me a few years ago, and I've been growing them out and getting them adapted to our region. And I've got lots of those that I think people would really like, as well as the Malawi picante pepper, which is also known as the Peppadew.
Ooh.
Peppadew is a brand, though, so you
All
can't
right.
really
Is it
label
Mexico,
that.
Indiana, or Mexico, Mexico?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have to be in the hot temperatures in order to grow peppers here?
Well, it's a long season pepper, so it's roughly about 120 days.
That's 4 months?
Yeah. So by the end of the season, you'll get some that are red, but a lot of green ones. And so you just powder the green ones and
So when do you guys start? If you're going to grow peppers, do you start them in the kitchen window in the sun, or what do you do?
I'll start them in a seed starting tray in March, and then I'll have them ready to go in the ground by the end of May.
Other than taste, Tiny, is there really any health benefit from peppers?
I don't know. Does it go past the taste?
That's pretty good.
I think there are health benefits
Well,
from peppers, right?
There are times when it will open up your sinuses. That's what I remember. If you're stopped up, you don't need Vicks Vapor Rub. All you need is a good hot chili, and it'll open you up.
What I can tell you is I'm not a doctor. I don't know the health benefits,
don't
but I
get
can tell you
technical.
they are delicious.
They're delicious. All right. Do you guys have a favorite pepper? An easy one for people to grow?
So some of the easiest to grow would be like the chili peppers, the jalapenos, those type of peppers. And I don't know if you know this or not, but they actually have like new peppers that have no heat to them whatsoever. So this year I
So
grew,
is it flavorful?
Yes. So
Okay.
they taste like the pepper, only there's no heat. So
How do they do that? I'm just amazed at how they're able to create these things.
Science, right?
Science.
Yeah.
Well,
So
don't-
you
Same way we have
no
this.
heat.
They take the pepper, the
Science.
ones that are not hot, and they save the seed from those. And then each time they grow them out, they only save seed from the ones that are not hot. Eventually, over time, you end up getting a no-heat pepper.
That's going to take a lot of book work trying to track that through the whole thing.
Isn't that like a
Dedication.
green pepper though, really?
Green peppers have never been hot to me. You know, if you go into the sub shop, they say you want hot peppers or sweet peppers. So I don't know. I just know what I like. Sweet peppers are like a pickle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Even for like a mild pepper, a bell pepper, and a kind of, I guess, mild jalapeno, without the seed, tastes pretty different.
Pretty mild or pretty
But
different.
I mean, so I could see if you get into these hotter varieties that have kind of lost the heat but have that unique flavor, it could introduce a whole new kind of flavor to some people.
Genetics is an amazing thing. We had a great scientist with us about 4 or 5 months ago. His name was Juvenal, and he had worked with a lot of different varieties of things, but they had focused on chickpeas because they have so much protein, and they've been hybridizing them and making them better and better and better. Does anybody do that with peppers? I get my mouth burned out. I sent you the video of the puppy dog that scared off the pig that was eating peppers, and the puppy dog didn't know that the pigs don't have that issue, but that poor dog trying to throw his tongue out of his mouth. But are nutritional or is it all flavor?
For me, it's all flavor.
Yeah.
And for those of you that do want the flavor but not the heat, some of the ones that you can buy are like the halafulju or
Of course, yeah.
That's a good
or
one.
habanada. So, they've come up with clever names for them too.
Yeah.
For those that are going to be thinking maybe this is a first time and we watch, we watch so much stuff on social media, right? People that can grow carrots out of a tomato and all the things that people are doing. When it comes to actually being serious about it, and you want to try taking that little seed and getting it to germinate through this late winter and tips that can go wrong. Things fail easily?
They can. So the first thing I would say is grow what you're going to eat. If it's something you don't like, even if it's easy, why would you grow it?
Right.
So the way that I do it is I take a paper towel, I get it moist, and I put the seeds on there, fold it up, put it in a plastic bag that's open just a little bit. And
Little air.
Yeah, a little bit of air, and I put it on a heating pad. They have heat mats just for
Oh.
seeds.
But you should put a towel on top of it because I have fried my seeds doing it that way.
So
you
on the very
asked-
lowest temperature that's possible, just warm, and let it and put something on top of it.
But
And
but no
all-
soil yet. You're just waiting for a little green sprout to stick its nose out.
Sure am. And like Jenny said, you had asked, what can go wrong? Well, that's something that can go wrong. You can have it too hot or too cold because seeds really like just a little bit of warmth, a little bit of moisture.
So not in the
starts-
garage. Don't do
Correct.
this in the garage.
Unless you're doing cold weather things like kale, lettuce, spinach, then you can start that in the garage because
Oh.
that wants 55 degrees roughly
Okay.
to germinate. And then same with peppers. You can germinate those at like 80 degrees. As soon as those things pop up, though, you want to drop the temperature down for a period of time.
Okay.
You guys are scientists. You're not the pepper ladies.
There's an art to it, of
There
course.
many be. How many?
Trial and error.
How many, I was going to say, how many seasons have you screwed up?
Many.
Many. Yeah. Well, all right. So we put the seeds in something moist, keep it warm, and then all of a sudden it pops out the little nose of a green bud. Is that when you plant, or do you let it go a little bit longer before you plant it in soil?
I'll do it as soon as I can because if you wait too long, they get tangled up. I've made that mistake before trying to separate. So, yeah, you want to do
Yeah.
it pretty quick.
Can you bury a little like seedling deeper? So let's say you get a little pepper seed that's sprouted in your paper towel and you're ready to move it to your pot. Can you bury it deeper? Do you need that? I guess you are going to bury that root kind of majority under the soil, and then just have the little leaf sticking up
Yep.
about where it would be naturally.
So when it is sprouting, I put it all the way under the soil. And
The
then
green part too.
yes,
Yeah.
and that way, when it's under heat lights, it starts going up towards that light. So if you have lights that you're growing them under, it will find its way up to the light, just like it finds its way up to the sun.
Which is good and bad. That's where I feel I always fail. I get them to that point, and then the lights I forget to move or adjust. So let's say, I've forgotten to move them or the light's too far, and they've gotten leggy. Is there a way to recover from like a leggy seedling?
I would take the light down as far as you can, and
Just see if it'll get
yeah.
thicker.
hmm Well, and you can also, once they get to a certain height, you can pinch them off. So you can take off the top half of the plant, and it will get a stockier stem
Yeah,
and
grow to it.
and get more bushy.
It's the Home and Garden Show. The Pepper Ladies have arrived. We're going to take a quick break here, and if you've got questions for them, give us a call. We're sort of challenged with our phones, but we'll do our best. 317-239-9393. Coming right back with Tiny Ike and Jenny Lambert right here on the Home and Garden Show. The Pepper Ladies are in the studio, and I just had some. Jenny Lambert just made some bread. All right, tell me one more time what's in this bread, because this is heaven.
It's Hatch chili pepper powder and red Moscow chili peppers.
What type of bread? I mean, this is just terrific.
Sourdough.
Sourdough. There we go. Anyway, really, really good. Now, does your family like this, or are you the only one in the family?
Oh, everybody loves the bread.
Okay.
How could you not?
Well, that's a good point, because it's very mild. Do you guys share recipes? I mean, can people find out more about the Pepper Ladies and so they can do stuff like this?
I'm happy to share.
All
Sure.
right. So contact you through the Hamilton County Master Gardener Association. That'd be probably the best.
That probably would be the best way to contact us.
Yeah, and I'm at seedsavers@hcmga.org.
HCMGA stands for Hamilton County Master Gardener Association. Let's talk about the seed swap real quick. What are the rules? Can Terry come? Can she buy them? What are the rules of the seed swap?
Do I need to bring something to swap?
No, you
Because
don't.
I have an actual autograph from one of the Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz.
I'll trade you everything I own.
Wow. Normally it's just trading seeds, but okay.
If bartering is on the table,
That's
then
pretty good.
I got a lot of stuff.
I also have home repairs that need to be done for seeds.
Really? This is serious bartering here. Okay, so tell us about the seed swap, how it got started, and what are the rules of the game?
Well, it started back in 2017. And
That's back when you were president of HCMGA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And anyway, the idea was to have seed vendors that would come from all over the country and bring their seeds, and have our community come and buy or trade or sell. So we have seed vendors that sell their seed, as well as merchant vendors that come and sell their wares, like Tiny's going to sell her tasty treats there.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's right.
Yay.
Right. If you have seeds to sell, who do they contact to get a booth or to be able to participate?
And that would be a Tiny question.
We are actually past that time for this year.
Okay.
For next year, though, you can just send a message to the Central Indiana Seed Swap page on
All right.
Facebook, and they'll put you on their contact list.
That's pretty cool. So what are the rules of the game? 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever it opens up, you just walk in and start perambulating around the room to gather seeds?
Well, they give out free seeds, so as you come in, you'll be directed towards an area where you can get so many packets of free seed. So we have commercial seed companies that donate seed to the event for this purpose, and then the excess seed comes to my committee, which is Seed Savers, and then we provide those in a little free seed library there at the fairgrounds, where you can come and get your seeds to plant your own garden. But we also do flower seeds. My committee also does annual, biennial, perennial, and native seeds for sale.
Wow.
Cool.
So it's not just vegetable seeds.
Just not
It's so
vegetable.
cool. It's seed swapping as old as time, isn't it? It's one of those things that I think Lori Ingalls Wilder did. You know, it's, I mean,
we're
it's
going
one-
back to
I
Little
do.
House on the Prairie.
No, I mean it's kind
Yeah.
of one of those things that is really been around for a really long time.
It's a cool thing to be able to share with
Yeah,
somebody,
I
something
agree.
that you've grown and now you can share with them
Yep.
to do the same.
And that's
you know?
3 weeks from today. It starts at 9 a.m., goes to 3 p.m. It's at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds. Really easy to find.
Can I tell you one of the best parts about it? We have 3 fabulous speakers that are coming this year that will teach you everything that you didn't even know you wanted to know.
I like
the
that.
monthly meetings from Hamilton County Master Gardener Association. You guys had a lady on there, maybe it was May, Sarah Withrow. She was from Conner Prairie, and she was the herbalist.
Yes.
The disclaimer at the front was, now listen, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm going to share with you some solutions that work. She started talking about herbs and stuff.
I think that's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It's old country medicine. Is
And
what
I
it was.
believe it. I believe that's some. I mean, we talk about elderberry is very hot right now. Elderberry for sickness, flu, colds, all that stuff.
Oh, so other speakers, is it all about seeds or is it gardening, your speakers?
No, it is all different types of things. Last year we had one that was tomatoes and all of the different problems that you can encounter and how to get past those problems. It is something different all the time. We have done, every year we usually have.
We've done winter sowing demonstrations where people were able to leave with a gallon-sized milk jug that they started their own native seed in there and go home and wait until spring and watch it sprout.
Oh, cool. That's
So-
really cool, actually.
Jenny, you were going to tell us about where we could see winter sowing.
Oh, yeah. If you go to the Hamilton County Master Gardener website, and I believe it's under Seed Savers, we've got a video on there on how to do milk jug winter sowing.
Cool. The milk jug.
That sounds like a craft of some sort.
I was going to bring in
Okay.
a veggie, like a fruit and veggie tray, and I think my husband threw them away. But it has 5 compartments, 6 if you count the center one, and I was going to use those for my seed starting because I can do 5 different versus one
That's-
in a milk jug.
You know why your husband threw them away.
Wow.
He's tired of
He
peppers.
knows I'm a hoarder.
He
for things
hates
like that.
peppers. All right. The Central Indiana Seed Swap, Saturday, January 24th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds, and it is free admission. There's no charge to get in.
No charge. You just walk out with some free things. You can bring seeds to swap or not and just enjoy everything.
Tiny,
Come see
Jenny,
me.
thanks for coming. You guys, you're legends, for us.
Thank you
did
for all the
wa-
free stuff too.
I did want to offer for the first 20 people that have seen this or heard this today, if you meet me at the Seed Savers table, I'll give you and you mentioned this, I'll give
Mention
you a
the
free,
Home and Garden Show.
Yeah,
Okay.
mention the Home and Garden Show. I'll give you a free packet of rare pepper seeds.
Okay, you can't just do that. How rare? What are they?
Okay, I'll give you the Malawi picante that I mentioned earlier, which is the peppadew, and the Moscow, which is in the bread today.
That's really nice. All right, so if you show up at 9 o'clock, the first 20 people that mentioned the Home and Garden Show, we said we heard the pepper ladies, they got something free coming to them.
Yep.
I like that, Jenny. Jenny, Tiny, thanks for coming in. We wish you the best. Thanks for all you do for MGA. You guys have both been officers. You were the president once, and I see that you're third year on the board now.
That's
Tiny.
right. Yep.
Thanks for all you do. People really do appreciate it. And thanks for coming into the Home and Garden Show, okay?
Thanks for having us.
It's the
Thanks,
Pepper
guys.
Ladies. When we come back, Jack's going to have some easy house plants to keep you company during the winter. And all that's right here on 93 WIBC. 93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show. I got to give Ethan a shout out. Some of the best bump music in the world. I'd like to follow you around. Just listen to the music you listen in your truck, Ethan. I don't know. What was this one?
This was Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I see what he did there, ladies. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, anyway.
Clever.
Hey, if you ever need to get in touch with Tiny or Jenny, reach out to me at denny@wibc.com. I'll get you in touch with them. They're great gals. And likewise for the Hamilton County Master Gardener Association, the whole Purdue Master Gardener thing. If you want to learn more about, you've just been a hacker so far, there's nice people. They're not pushy. If you need an expert, they will help you find them. But it's the Hamilton County Master Gardener Association. And don't forget that in 2 weeks, they're going to have the seed swap, and that sounds like something you need to try. All right, Jack, I've been promoting you all this time about houseplants that can keep you company during the winter. And you brought in treasures.
Yeah, I'm a
So-
visual guy, so I like to have some hands-on.
Is that a Norfolk
props.
pine on the right there?
It is. That's a good eye.
Yeah.
Look
So-
how thin and how old is that little Norfolk
So
pine?
this is just a tiny little one, and these are actually, probably little saplings that they've just had sprout up from down here. But that can't be any older than just a few months.
Is there any truth? Jack Scott said if you go to YouTube and you do the WIBC YouTube feed, he's going to hold up a couple of them. In his right hand, he's got the Norfolk pine. Jack, I've been told that Norfolk pines, if you grow them in the house, you have to shake them every once in a while. It's like a fiddle leaf fig that if they don't have wind or something buffeting.
So this isn't like your typical evergreen. It's an island pine, so it is used to those kind of heavy winds. So it needs to be kind of shaken out. Otherwise, they're really prone to getting disease or pests like spider mites. So in the little nooks and crannies, you'll get all the little webbing. But the winds can kind of help with that.
Yeah.
And then also running them under the faucet.
We had a fiddle leaf fig at the office. And of course, there's no wind in the office except when one of us is talking. Okay. And it got real leggy, real tall. And we reached out to somebody who told us just go over and shake it about every 2 or 3 hours. And it got stronger. We did trim it down. We pruned it down, and it rebloomed and came through. But when we're in our houses, we do not have nature to strengthen our roots or our limbs or whatever.
No, so you really do put some of these plants at, in a stressful position when they're just sitting there untouched, kind of in stagnant air all day.
Would you say, Jack, which of these that you brought are maybe high maintenance, low maintenance?
So thank you for asking. I brought a good range of what we can do. So everybody's going to see that Norfolk pine right now at the grocery store. Maybe they got one for Christmas, or maybe they've had one for years. You'll see some that are 8-9 feet tall. But this one's really easy. You just want to keep it in a little dish of water, and it'll drink from the bottom. Keeps it humid, and then it just needs bright light.
Do you water from the bottom dish, or do you water through the top?
So on something like this, I'm just watering from the bottom dish.
Okay.
So I'll fill the saucer and then let it kind of soak up from the bottom.
Okay, so what's the little guy to the left of the?
So then over here we have something called the little jewel orchid. So this is probably the hardest one that we have here. It needs a lot of humidity, but we get a lot of people coming in that want to put a plant in, say, a little terrarium with their reptile.
When you say
with their reptile,
so if they have like a little chameleon
snake or a
gecko, something. I'm familiar with the plants, not the reptiles, but
right.
Something like this can kind of creep and grow along at the bottom of that terrarium, and that's a jewel orchid.
Now, when you say it needs humidity, are you spraying it with a sprayer, or are you creating like a terrarium environment where there's lots of moisture?
So for something like that, ideally it's in a terrarium. If you don't have a terrarium, I would just be misting it.
It is pretty. How would you describe it to the listeners? How would you describe it?
It's kind of low to the ground. It's got some kind of oval pointed leaves, a really dark green with then kind of a cool pink vein.
Yeah,
Where will the flower appear?
So it doesn't really flower like some other plants would. It'll just push up a little stalk and a little insignificant bloom.
All right. Does it self-propagate, or do you have to have pollination?
It would need a pollinator, but usually with a house plant, if you see a flower, once that flower is kind of spent, I'd pick it back. Otherwise, it takes away a lot of health from the plant.
All right. Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan is probably one of the best indoor plant guys that I know. He's been holding off on a jade plant. He's really proud of this jade plant. And so I said, get some that are affordable. How much is that jade plant you've been holding off for me now? $400?
I think the price has maybe gone down to $399.
$399.
That's a bargain. You should jump on it now.
Oh, it's a jade hobbit, or is it hobbit jade?
Hobbit jade.
Hobbit jade. Oh my gosh!
How do you put $400 on a plant?
That's where I am, Terry. I
don't know.
Tight.
I mean, how they come up with that figure
because
of $400?
That plant is probably 10 years younger than me.
10 years younger than you. So it's a 25-year-old plant?
Yeah, it's a mature plant.
So what's the big 2x4? I've asked you about that. Every jade hobbit I've ever seen, they've got an old wooden oak 2x4 in there. Why do they do that?
Because all that, all the weight is up in the top, that water weight, so they're just so top heavy.
Do you strap it, or is it just there to...
It's really just there to support it.
Lean on?
To lean on.
Lean on me. All right, you got 2 more plants here, Jack.
Yeah, so the other's this Anthurium, and that's another kind of very easy one, low maintenance. This is just a little different. Typically, they have that kind of bigger heart-shaped leaf. This Anthurium just has a really cool kind of dark pink, purple.
It's pretty.
It's gorgeous.
And then kind of a thin pointed leaf. But that kind of reblooms all year for you too. So if you have it inside, you may have, a few weeks where if you cut the blooms back, it's not blooming, but it certainly will give you some color.
Jack, I have a question. It looks in this particular plant like the roots are coming up from the bottom.
So
is that right?
That's
a
good sign. Every one of these plants is used to growing out in nature where it's fighting, other plants for root space. So that's actually a really good sign. If you see, a plant that's in a pot that you don't see any roots, it's probably still stressed out trying to fill that pot back up.
So what Terry is pointing to, that root coming out, that's different from being root bound.
Correct.
Okay.
So that would be a good sign. You don't want that to be happening forever. Maybe this summer I'd repot this one into one size up.
Okay. And then the big leaf one there on the left.
Yeah, so this is kind of a moderate, but I love the ferns. So this is a staghorn fern. And then, so you'll see a lot of these either mounted
looks like
on
lettuce.
a piece of wood.
It looks like lettuce. It looks like a pitcher plant.
It's not
inviting
pretty at
something
all.
to come in
So
and be eaten.
It looks like a little staghorn fern that has
like-
elephantitis, where it gets those giant limbs. But these are cool. They'll put out a big shield leaf that'll kind of cover the base and protect the root ball out in nature from pests getting down to it. And then it puts out all these big leaves that'll help kind of funnel water down to that crown.
These are not expensive plants. I'm looking at this, and it's $22.
And that's, I would say, on a higher end.
And the
for a
orchid's
fern,
like
too.
$19. And on
So-
sale days,
Misleading with the name, but yeah, very cool little jewel orchid
Yeah.
plant.
Make me love the lettuce plant.
you can't
So-
eat it, Terry.
All things, there's nothing ugly. Everything is for a reason and for a purpose. And so maybe it's just, I don't know about that one. It looks like it's dying lettuce.
It's the St. Bernard of the
But-
lettuce
This one
family.
takes a little appreciation. So this is my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah, I have one at
Okay.
home on my desk, one at work on my desk. This is one we had for sale. Doesn't look as good, but once it gets these big shields, you get these really furry leaves.
oh, they're
and you just
furry.
get some really cool kind of detail.
Now, does that put out honeydew? Usually when I think of furry leaves, Jack, I always think of honeydew. Does that put out any excretion?
I like it.
No, it does not.
It does not.
It's
All
like
right.
a lamb's ear. It's got that soft, beautiful,
Isn't that
velvety
fun?
touch. I love it.
This
All
is
right.
a house plant that wants to be
Oh,
pet.
yeah, look in the
Yeah.
light too. You get some of the veins.
Oh,
coming through.
yes.
Oh,
We're
it's
holding that up
beautiful.
for you. If you're on the YouTube, you can see the veins in it.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
changed
Jack,
my
how much
mind.
is a Norfolk pine in a
So that's going to
4-inch
be
pot?
kind of your best price. Those are $12.99.
That's really cool.
They're beautiful.
And again, this is something that you can have inside. Once you bring it inside, I'd keep it inside. And once it gets kind of established inside, it'll be happy there as
Jack,
long as you can keep it
All right,
there.
so I'm looking at this big elephantitis ear. There's some dead leaves around it, and there's some drying off on the inside. Is
So
that
that
a
bra-
moisture issue, or what is that?
So the browning leaf around the bottom is that new crown forming. So that's actually good. It's
Okay.
forming to protect the root ball. So some of the leaves that I was trying to hide that you noticed would be the leaves that are kind of dead and just need
And
to
so you
come
just
off.
pop them
Yeah.
out of there. Hey,
God
this
is amazing.
This is Jack
God is
Phipps.
amazing how he picks and shoots. I mean,
I know.
how
100
things are growing and protecting itself. And
He's at
it's
about
amazing.
113th and Allisonville
Nature
Road.
at
It's
its
the
finest.
Sullivan
Yeah.
Hardware Home and Garden establishment there. What I notice is that whenever I go to see Jack, Jack's always busy because people come in and say, "What about this? What about that?" Jack, do you charge by the hour or are you free?
I'm always free, and if you would like to talk to me, I'm always happy to help. Just feel free to ask somebody if I'm available.
Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Jack, thanks for bringing them in.
Of course.
You've over-delivered as usual.
Thanks for letting me share something I love.
You bet. All right, it's the Home and Garden Show. We're going to be plowing into the next part of our segment. And I tell you what, if you've got time for a phone call, give us a call. 317-239-9393, right here on 93 WIBC. 93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show. One more reminder for the Central Indiana Seed Swap. 2 Saturdays. Saturdays, January 24th, starts at 9 a.m., goes to 3 p.m. It's at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds. Remember the first 20 that tell Jenny that they heard us, that they heard the Pepper Ladies on WIBC. You're going to get a free bunch of nice seed packets, rather rare pepper plants. Ladies, thanks for coming in. All right, Jack, we've got a caller, believe it or not, and joining us right now is Mike. Mike, how are you, buddy? That good. There we go. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
We're doing good. What you got for us?
I've got 2 rose bushes in the front of my house that I've let go like insane. And when is the best time for me to trim or not trim? I'm going to take them almost all the way to the ground.
No, you don't want to take them all the way to the ground. I mean, you might be a little bit angry with them, but don't take them all the way to the ground, especially now. Jack, what do you think?
So it depends really on the level of effort you want to do, but general rule of thumb is if you can wait till we're kind of after our last frost and you see all the new little growth popping out, you could go back as far as that last little joint, the leaf node that's growing out. On some of the older roses, if they have those really woody established stems, I wouldn't take it down more than a foot or down to a foot. But again, I would wait till we get past our kind of last hard freeze date.
Okay, that was like basically what I was. Is like up to a foot. I can cut them and just get on with it.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
they're going to still freeze. We've still got a lot of bad weather coming, Mike. And so if you cut them at 12 inches, they're going to get some freeze burn down to about 6 inches. If you cut them at 24, they'll freeze burn down to 12. So whatever you have left, remember that half of that's going to still be gone.
Okay. How do I go ahead and throw some like some kind of fertilizer or growth thing?
This is
promote growth.
Yeah, all right, but you don't want to promote growth right now. Okay, they're in their dormant state.
No.
So, Jack, when would be a good time for him to just put an all-purpose?
So, if you wanted to do, I would just wait until you see that new growth starting to push out, and that way the plant's ready to start taking it in, and you're not going to put it down prematurely.
Because these bushes are great because, like, I get pink and I get yellow and I get white. I get all sorts of different colors on the rose bush.
That's pretty cool.
It is. Cool. I wouldn't cut it back, down to a foot. I would leave it closer to 2 feet. A lot of that fun coloring comes from the smaller blooms that you get on kind of those smaller branches. So I would try to maybe.
They don't last long.
Yeah,
they don't last long. I tell you what, your friend is going to be a tiny handheld pair of Fiskars trimmers, Fiskars. They've got some needle nose that are just perfect for all of your rose bushes when you get down to cutting blooms and stuff off. The anvil kite for what he's doing this gross sculpture he's going to be doing now.
I don't really go ahead and what can I say? I just leave them. I don't
just let them go.
Put them in a vase or anything like that. I just leave them, and then the petals fall off, and it just gets on with it.
You're the best part of parent for plants. So many people think they have to hover over them and trim every little brown leaf and everything. I'm with you, Mike.
I agree.
Plant them, wait for them to do their magic, and then move on. Attaboy. Well, thanks.
While I was online, I was thinking, and I found a question for Danny.
All right.
Is he there?
Yeah, we got a couple minutes. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Danny.
I'm right here, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't recognize your voice because I listened to it on the radio.
I know. I sound just like Pat Sullivan, but really, I'll be glad to help you, Mike.
No, you don't, because Sullivan would have hung up on me a long time ago.
He probably would have. All right. What's your question, Mike?
He's already done it 3 times. He doesn't have a sense of humor. He's a prude.
All right.
Okay.
You ask your question, Michael, before I get fired here.
I'm having a hard time figuring out how to remove the flush mechanism for my toilet because the rubber stopper does not want to come out of the hole.
All right. You're talking about the flapper in the middle of the bowl or in the middle of the tank?
No. I'm talking about the tower. Where you had like the bulb that comes up like that kind of thing.
Right, that's called a ball cock.
Okay.
And I'm
having a hard time getting that thing to come out because I want to replace them because
I would replace that with a Fluid Master. But now here's the thing: those are once they've been in there for a while. How old is if they've been in there for over 15 years? That rubber has probably started to disintegrate and actually put a weld of sorts between the plastic and the ball cock. And the china
We're talking
itself.
25 years.
Yeah, so you're going to have to sort of manhandle it. But if you break the bowl or break the tank, I didn't tell you anything. You did that. I would not tell a man to break it. But if you break it, then you're heading someplace to buy a new toilet. But you have to be careful. I would just, realize that rubber is only about 1/8 of an inch thick. And if you can twist it a little bit while somebody else holds onto the tank, you might be able to break it free. But it's a booger of a job, and you might want to call a plumber.
I'm not doing that because I could do 99% of the stuff in my house. I can do.
I know. I'm the same stubborn guy, but it's that 1% that'll bite you in the butt, son. So be
okay. What I'm thinking, if I go ahead and get like a break in one side of it, not the toilet, itself.
You're going to want to twist, Mike. You're going to want
on one side.
Yeah. Listen, we're coming up against the clock, but you're going to want to get some channel locks on it or something to twist it out. You don't want to break it out. Okay. You want to twist it out, and you can do that. Just be patient. What happens is
what about WD-40?
WD-40. As long as you dry out the tank, that might help because that would lubricate.
I got that care of.
All right, so you dry out the tank, and spread. I would use WD-40. I would not use a silicone, but you want something to start breaking down that a little bit. So there you go, my brother. Good luck to you, okay?
Yeah, you take care of yourself, man. Have a good one.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
Okay, so Denny?
Yes, ma'am?
We're getting ready. President Trump is going to speak to us here at 11 o'clock after the United States Air Forces captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. And so we're going to carry that here on WIBC as soon as it happens. I don't know if we need to get to a break to before we get to that, Denny, or let me check our time.
That'd probably be a good idea. Let's
10:56.
Yeah, Ethan.
Check with Ethan.
Ethan's on the phone right now. So we'll sort of play this by ear. We're going to check out about 3 minutes early. That way he can run a spot set, and then we can get ready for the news.
Absolutely. That's what we'll do. But in case you're just waking up, I don't know why you would. Maybe you would be and not have heard this, but President Trump saying that Saturday that the United States conducted a large-scale strike in Venezuela that resulted in the capture and removal of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. We also heard that along with his wife. Also captured and removed from the country following the operation, which was conducted in coordination with law in the United States enforcement authorities, Trump said in an early morning post on Truth Social. Again, expecting to hear from him at 11 o'clock. We'll go right to Fox News as soon as that happens.
Terry, the big question right now in Venezuela is who's left in charge. There was an election where the winner was jailed or went into hiding. And so everybody's wondering at this point is who's going to be in charge of Venezuela. Will it be the vice president under Maduro? Would it be some of his military leaders? Or is it going to be a civilian citizenry that steps up and establishes a new government?
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know that this was unexpected. Did we think like something like this was going to be happening soon?
There had been a lot of saber rattling. They were destroying what they call the go-fast boats that are loaded with drugs. And they were trying to send a message. And there was all this saber rattling, but I'm a plumber from Central Indiana. I'm not the political guy, but there was a lot of foreshadowing by Trump to say, "Look, we're not going to put up with this anymore," and so.
Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah, who had earlier questioned whether the United States attack was constitutional, said in a X post on Saturday that Secretary of State Marco Rubio told him that the U.S. operation was deployed to protect and defend those executing the arrest warrant.
There we go. All right. So about 30 seconds, we're going to punch it off to the newsroom and to Ethan. You're still listening to the Home and Garden Show. We'll be back as soon as that address is over. In the meantime, thanks for tuning into WIBC. We are your news source. We're going to give you everything that we've got. And quite frankly, you can listen to us when you're driving the car. You can't watch television when you're in the car. So always keep it tuned to 93.1 FM. And again, in about 5 seconds, Ethan, I'm going to be throwing it to you. You've been listening to the Home and Garden Show. Our thanks to the Pepper Ladies, to Jack from Allisonville, and certainly
Jack,
Terry.
don't go anywhere.
Right here on 93 WIBC.
Breaking news coverage from Fox News Radio.
This is a Fox News alert. Venezuela's leader is captured by U.S. forces in a daring pre-dawn strike in Caracas. I'm Jared Halpern at the White House, joined by Eben Brown in Miami. President Trump is at Mar-a-Lago, expected to hold a news conference with senior administration officials any minute now. When that begins, we will take you there live. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were both captured and are now making their way to the United States to face federal drug charges. An unsealed indictment reveals 4 counts against Maduro, including narco-terrorism conspiracy and cocaine importation conspiracy. The early morning U.S. military action followed a months-long pressure campaign on Maduro. Dozens of alleged drug boats have been blown up in the Caribbean, and a naval blockade is aimed to choke off profits from sanctioned oil leaving Venezuela. For weeks, President Trump has warned of land strikes and indicated targets may not only be inside Venezuela. Evan Brown joins us now from South Florida, home to a large Venezuelan community. And Evan, recap for us, if you can, how this all went down very early this morning.
Well, the news broke in the middle of the night, Jared, and remember this, that Venezuela is actually 1 hour ahead of U.S. Eastern time. So I think it was about 2 a.m. local time, 3 a.m. Eastern U.S. time, that we started getting the news about this incursion, if you will call it that, into Venezuela. There were a number of helicopter strikes in certain targets, and then a very kinetic, very one-on-one almost type of, boots on the ground, special ops type of endeavor, which resulted, as we learned from the president himself later on when he would post about it on Truth Social, that both Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan president, or currently sitting in the presidential office, there's some debate as to his legitimacy these days, and his wife had been captured and had been brought aboard what we would later learn was the USS Iwo Jima, and is being transported to, or are both being transported to New York City, where we knew Maduro himself was under indictment, since an indictment was unsealed back in 2020 for narco-terrorism. But also apparently Mrs. Maduro is also under an indictment too. And so they would, we now expect the two of them to be jailed and tried on those charges.
That will be a timeline that we will certainly watch closely. That is an indictment, as you point out, that is years old, was unsealed this morning by the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. You mentioned something there that is worth delving into as well, and that is the legitimacy or lack of legitimacy of Maduro. This is a leader who, by all international observations, lost his last election, stayed in power. And there has been a pressure campaign to oust him, not just from this administration, but from previous American administrations.
Certainly. Maduro has never really been seen, I think, on the, let's call it the non-communist world community as ever being legitimate. He was sort of handpicked by his predecessor, the late Hugo Chavez. And the elections carried out since then have always been circumspect. However, this recent election in 2024 was widely condemned as being illegitimate, as being stolen. It's a phrase that we use carefully here in the United States these days, but certainly the consensus, even from groups like the Carter Center, have concluded that this election was not on the up and up. It was actually quite obviously not on the up and up. It was even canceled halfway through, and a number of 51% or so was declared for Maduro. The opposition leader, a woman by the last name of Machado, who was just recently awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, she was smuggled out of the country by the United States just a few weeks ago for her safety. She's been in hiding for mostly a year, and she was prohibited from actually running in the election. They had a stand-in, Edmundo Gonzalez, and now Ms. Machado is saying that Gonzalez should be named the president, that he was perhaps the right winner in that election. What this really means for the future of governance in the short term in Venezuela is unknown. There are questions about where the loyalties of the Venezuelan military and law enforcement lie. Perhaps the president will address this, or perhaps Secretary of State Marco Rubio will address this when they begin speaking here in what should be a few minutes at Mar-a-Lago. But aside from that, this is one of these moves that moves the proverbial football. Venezuela can move on from this. Perhaps the United States can find a better American neighbor in whatever happens next. There's a lot of old beef between the U.S. and Venezuela having to do with the stolen oil industry. The American oil industry was nationalized by Chavez, and it's largely considered to be stolen. The oil produced is under sanction. And so with that, maybe the United States is once again asserting what used to be called the Truman Doctrine, that this is our, this is our neighborhood, and we'll say what goes on here.
Well, it is certainly raising a lot of condemnation from partners, from allies in Latin America. There have been strong statements opposing this action from the president of Mexico, from the president of Colombia. You mentioned Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He has been briefing lawmakers, it would appear, as this morning we got a recap of what he told Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah, who initially put out on social media some questions about the legality of this operation. Why was there no authorization passed by Congress? How come Congress was left in the dark? He then followed that up by saying that he had spoken to Marco Rubio, says that Rubio told him that Maduro was arrested, will stand trial. The Utah Republican says he was told that the kinetic strikes that were deployed were only deployed to protect and defend those executing this arrest warrant, and Lee says likely fall within the president's authority to protect U.S. personnel from an actual or imminent attack. Again, that will be a question as lawmakers return to Washington here next week about this operation. Is this a one-off kinetic strike? Are there larger plans for the United States? Will there be boots on the ground in Venezuela from the United States during a transition period? Are there targets outside of Venezuela that the United States aims to take out? President Trump has made clear this is about narco-terrorism, has pointed to other countries, including Colombia and Mexico, that house cartel operations. That will be a big point of question and concern from an awful lot of lawmakers.
In the background, you hear that Fox News is preparing to cover President Trump's address to the nation regarding the forcible capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife in the early morning hours. They were taken to the USS Iwo Jima by helicopter, and the plan is that they will appear in New York to face charges. This is an extraordinary event, and Jack Phipps has joined us. Terry Lynn. Terry, you've been on cutting-edge stuff from news before. I've never remember a wholesale capture of another world leader like this.
I know. I agree.
And I realize that the issue is that he's broken American law, and he continues to break law, and somehow they've got the chutzpah to go get him and his wife and extradite him here to the United States. It's incredible that I'm seeing this in my life. I've never seen anything like that.
I agree.
You're
We've not seen
reporting
it.
on it.
Yeah, and we are, and we will certainly bring you President Trump's speech to us here shortly. Again, he was scheduled to speak to us at 11 o'clock, and we will continue to watch. And as soon as he's ready to go, we'll make sure that you know, too, and hear what he has to say.
We woke up to this really early this morning, and it was a large-scale strike in Venezuela of multiple parts of the U.S. military. And
I think that part that wasn't a surprise to me.
No.
But the surprise was the capture.
The capture. I mean, the military have been blowing up boats that they believe are infiltrating Americans with drugs, with illicit things, and I think the words that I continually hear are poisoning our people. And so they had been warned and warned and warned. And that there have been projections for weeks, Terry, that Maduro was going to be gone because of the pressure that the Trump administration was putting against him. I'm no fan of Maduro. I mean, he's not just a socialist. I mean, he's a brutal dictator.
Just wonder what's going to happen next. You know, Fox has learned that Maduro could make an appearance in federal court in New York, where he was indicted years ago, as soon as Monday.
This all took place in Caracas, Venezuela, which is the capital. And of course, the Caracas government, we don't know who's in charge. That's the thing. Is it the vice president, or is it going to be a civilian government that's going to be established? But they're calling it a very serious military aggression against Venezuela and being carried out by the imperialist aggression. In the United States, that narrative is more of a defensive narrative. We're protecting our people. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out, Terry.
This is the Home and Garden Show, and we will continue on. And again, as soon as we know much further about when President Trump will speak, any minute now, perhaps 10 minutes from now, we don't know when he's going to make that appearance, but he will, and we'll make sure that you hear it right here on WIBC.
And we are going to give you some topics, and it is not callous on our part, but we will all know this story soon enough, and it's just as soon as the story is ready to be told, we were going to cut to it immediately. But in the meantime, we've got some stuff to share with you, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And if you don't, please forgive us because we're doing the best we can here in a very critical situation between Venezuela and the United States of America.
I would like to mention, though, that if you are taking down your tree today, your live tree, again, I mean, just in case you need to know, there was a great story earlier this morning about where to take your trees. And of course, the normal is to take your fresh cut Christmas trees that are ready to go now. The Parks Departments will take them here soon, but goats like them. And so there's some great goat farms around the Noblesville, even in Westfield, all over the place. There are goat farms, and you can look them up. They're happy to take your Christmas tree as long as it came from some place that didn't spray it with a fire retardant. Right?
You never know.
You don't want any kind of poison on there, but
From President Trump here in a few moments.
Here we go.
All right,
getting close.
We're getting close.
Ethan? All right.
They're still making time, too. Tom Berry, a former employee here at WIBC, was in our sales department forever. He said, remember Manuel Noriega from Panama? This was back in the 80s. He, too, was captured, and he was a bit of a drug lord in Panama, but he was the president, and it was the first time that there was a snatch. He was, he was pulled into the United States again on drug charges of sorts, so... It has happened before. 1989 was the last time we saw it. All right, so my text messages are blowing up, and they say, how do we know that this is not AI? And I'm going, I don't know how AI, artificial intelligence, the news
videos?
reporting, are they just feeding this in, and are we getting this? So here I have a question for you. We got 4 choices, one correct answer.
No.
Is it IA? Is it imagination? Or is it reality? They say that 2026 will be the year that the American public will have to learn those 3 differences. So here you go. Which of the following is real? An AI chatbot convincing a lawyer to cite 6 court cases that never existed? Possibility. Is it a man legally married to a hologram pop star? They can marry their pets and stuff.
Sure.
Is it NASA trained dolphins to repair underwater facilities?
No.
Is it a refrigerator that refuses to open if you've already had dessert?
No.
All of these are possibilities. And the question is it AI or is it reality? Which one do you think it is?
The first one.
You're right, Jack. It
First
was.
one?
This guy engaged AI and said, look, I need to cite 4 cases for the judge so he can throw this out of court. So AI came with 4 or 6 cases. None of them were true. The judge didn't buy it, thankfully.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
I would believe that a lawyer, anybody would be willing to believe that tool if they wanted to work.
Yeah, AI doesn't just practice law. It makes up law. And sometimes judges have to be on their toes.
Also picks best baby names.
Oh, right.
A lot of people are choosing, or maybe that's not true. I don't know if there's a lot of people, but having AI maybe pick some good baby names for you.
Terry, you've carried a baby for 9 months. You and your husband have planned for this. Are you going to let AI pick a name of a baby?
The AI baby name of the year is Alara. ALARA.
I don't like
Alara.
Do they have is that male, female?
It can be either.
Oh, God.
And
I shouldn't have
that's
asked.
it. Kai is another one. Kai is like we call Kylan. Kai. Kai is another one.
So I guess a gender-neutral name would be the norm.
Yep. Gender-neutral names. And
right,
so that's the one that AI has selected as the most popular AI-generated baby name of the year.
All right, I'll take your AI. And which of these is a pure imagination? You ready, Terry?
I'm ready.
AI software that writes breakup texts and schedules therapy.
Okay.
A Japanese company selling realistic robot grandparents for lonely adults. An AI system that predicts crimes before they happen, and a smart toilet that analyzes your health and sends the results to your phone. Which one
we know
is it?
that one is true, right?
That one is true. Okay, so is it a software that writes breakup texts and schedules therapy, a Japanese company selling realistic robot grandparents for lonely adults, or an AI system that predicts crimes before they happen.
Is it which one's fake?
I think which one of those three is fake?
I don't think they're I don't think grandparents. Maybe though.
I don't know. I think it's a
the other one predicting crimes before they happen.
They can't. That's the one that is pure imagination.
Oh,
Unless it's the Minority Report. The Minority Report.
Of a crash happening or
right. Okay.
Well, here's the good news: if you haven't committed a crime yet, nobody knows about it. But bad news: your toaster's watching you. So, all right. Which one is AI generated, Terry? And we're not talking baby names here. A photo of the Pope wearing a white designer puffer jacket. A mayor accidentally live streaming himself during a staff meltdown.
Okay.
A parrot that learned to order groceries from Alexa. Or a luxury hotel offering sleep consultants who watch you sleep. Which one is AI generated?
I think it's the first one.
That's the Pope in the puffer jacket.
Pope in the puffer jacket.
I'd love to see that though.
When it comes to parrots, though, the parrots.
Have you ever?
Oh, I watch the parrot, all the videos of parrots and what they're doing, and I know a lot of it is AI generated, but it makes me really want.
We had a client once that had a talking parrot that would swear, and if you did something, I mean, it would actually yell at you, not just "Hey you," but All right.
No, got it.
All right, Jack. Which one of these is real? I mean, real for real. A company offers AI grief bots that text you like a deceased loved one. A startup claims it can upload your consciousness to the cloud, who you are as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
A smartwatch that shocks you if you lie. Oh, Lordy. An AI that replaces your boss and schedules fewer meetings. Which one is real?
I'm going to say not the last one, A.
It is A. That's right. A company that offers grief bots that text you like a deceased. That would be crazy.
I think I saw there was that show Black Mirror on Netflix about like dystopian futures, and one of them was about like having a deceased loved one reach back out to you through AI.
Nothing says emotional healing like your phone reaching out to you. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, we got the 2-minute warning.
Got the 2-minute warning.
Maybe about 2-minute warning before President Trump will speak to us about what has happened in Venezuela.
Yes, they have just given out the official 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Right.
2 minutes.
Well, I got one more question. Is this imagination or is this not imagination? AI-generated influencers with millions of real followers. Of AI voice cloning scams stealing millions of dollars. An AI system that can feel offended. AI just says, "You're really making me mad," or something. A resume screening AI that accidentally rejects everyone. Which one of those is imagination for now? The other, there's three that are correct. Which one is not?
Well, I would hope the last one that's rejecting everybody.
No, a resume screening AI that actually it has happened, and a voice cloning scam that steals. My mom gets all these scamming calls. They say, "Is this Donna?" She says, "Yes." They take the yes and they use that to go against her. And real quick, before we got about a 1 minute before we go to President Trump, AI generated influencers with millions of real followers. Believe it or not, that is true. The one that is not is AI does not have feelings yet. Is not humanized. Terry?
All right. President Trump announcing that Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife been captured, flown out of the country after the United States carried out a large-scale strike. He is expected to address the nation here in just a few minutes from Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. We getting close, Ethan?
Yeah, it sounds like they're finishing up the last couple of interviews on here. So
okay. All right. As you know, the government had offered a $50 million bounty for information leading to the arrest and or conviction of Maduro. It sounds like he could go before the courts as soon as Monday after being flown to New York earlier today. I assume he is there now.
Maduro is no friend of the United States. He has had several meetings with the Chinese government. He has met with Iran. He has met with I think it was Putin, but I'm not positive about that. But he has been entertaining people or countries that would be considered not very friendly to the United States. And then when you add the drug charges and everything, we're going to learn a lot here from President Trump in just a few seconds. But it doesn't sound like this is going to go away for a while. This is going to be an international incident for some time.
Forgive me for being so stupid. Is this war?
I don't know
it's
if
a
an
fair
extradition.
question.
I mean, are we in a war? And I know we're in a war against drugs.
Extradition, I don't know, Terry.
But
And
I don't know if this means war or not. Sorry, I'm so stupid about it.
Well, it's not stupid. It's that this is not
I
something.
just
It's a
don't
good
know.
question.
Maybe he will answer that question.
This is not something we practice. Okay, you practice
I'm-
entertainment, I
right,
practice
right.
plumbing,
There's
and
much
and consulting. This is just unusual, and we've not seen anything like this in our lifetimes.
Mm-mm.
Well, except Noriega, and I want to thank Tom Berry for reaching out and reminding us of that. So the podium's still empty. We're watching the live feed here. It's 11:19 on a Saturday morning, just after the New Year's. The podium's empty, but they're hopeful to get this thing started here pretty quick. But the whole issue is that Trump is holding a news conference after the U.S. has captured the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife in Caracas, Venezuela, and has brought them back, or they're on their way back to New York, where he will be I don't know, indicted?
Indicted. Well,
charged?
where he was indicted years ago, but could be appearing in federal court as soon as Monday.
Wow. Busy weekend.
It is a busy weekend, and it's a new year. Here we go. No, not. I
no.
said here we go, and y'all, everybody was like, "Okay, no." I mean, here we go,
We're
new
all
year.
just waiting.
Yeah, as we know, he works on his own time, so
This is
we'll
nothing
hear from
new.
him when we do.
Well, doesn't he know he's interrupting the Home and Garden show? I mean,
Well, you know,
I would love to let him know.
I would love to. Oh, here's Americans fight about everything. We fight about our religions. We fight about our policies, our school boards. We fight about everything. And I think that when we finally come together, I think it'll be a message that will be sent to politicians for years and years and years. But right now, everybody benefits from us being angry with one another. I don't know. We'll see.
what else, Denny? What else you got?
I'm getting text messages from my wife. It says, careful. We want to talk about the news. We really don't want to talk about politics, but somehow they're all intertwined with us right now.
There really is some fun news, and that is that IU is on their way to the Peach Bowl, and that has been just such a fun run and having a great time when some of the other teams that we cheer for aren't having such good luck.
And who might that be?
That might be the Pacers, and that might be the Colts.
Yeah.
But anyway,
are the Pacers going to get a good draft pick? Or are they
you know
already?
what? Don't talk to me. I have no idea about that sort of thing. I just know when they win and when they lose. But I am wondering about this trip to Georgia for the Peach Bowl, and I understand that large number of Hoosiers that were out there, Hoosier fans that were out in Pasadena. They were already at the end of the game trying their best to find a way to get to the Peach Bowl.
Of course.
How to get there, what the ticket cost would be. So we are having some fun anyway. We do have something to cheer about, and that's going to be a fun week.
I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll run some spot sets. Forgive us. This is a very fluid situation that has come out of Caracas, Venezuela. We're starting to see interviews now from a lot of senators praising it as a protection of the American public, and we're going to see more of that. I tell you what, pay attention, listen carefully, try to keep your opinion tamped down until we hear all the facts, and I think that'll do us all some good. All right, we're going to take a break. It is the Home and Garden Show right here on 93 WIBC. WIBC. It is the Home and Garden Show. We are moments away from President Trump's news conference after the U.S. has captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife in Caracas, Venezuela. Lots of questions, and I hope that we will learn this from the press conference. Most of what is who is in charge in Venezuela right now. There was an election that the one that got the most votes was somehow disappeared. We believe that she is still in hiding, but we really do not know that. And the issue appears to be that President Trump has taken offense to the threats of Maduro and his regime towards the United States of America's citizenry. And it's a delicate time. We will know soon what took place, but there was a Do we want to call it they just absconded with the president of Venezuela. So the question is, Terry asked it, is this a declaration of war? I think that can only be done by Congress, but there's certainly going to be some discussion about what does this mean for political leaders in the future.
Absolutely. As you got up this morning and you heard the news and of what has happened, Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, his wife taken by helicopter to the USS Iwo Jima.
It said they woke him up. Can you imagine doing the use or the cuddles with your wife, and all of a sudden
I don't really know
special forces
what was going
breaks
on there
in
their home. But yeah, that happened. They were captured during an operation this morning. Fox News host Griff Jenkins asked Trump, before we let you go, there was a conversation. Can you tell us where Maduro and his wife are right this second? And he said they're heading to New York. They were taken by ship first. Yes, the Iwo Jima. Then they got on the helicopters, brought him to New York. And they've learned that Maduro could make an appearance in federal court in New York, where he was indicted years ago, as soon as Monday. So that's the latest we have. We were expecting that news conference from Mar-a-Lago earlier at 11 a.m. our time, but we are in kind of a holding pattern. And that's why you hear us just continuing to update you, because we never know when he's going to step in front of the podium.
There are an awful lot of comments going down right now. Of course, we're seeing the usual parade of senators who want to come in, some of them praising, some of them declaring that it's illegal. But I think the interesting thing is going to be the defense of why the capture of Maduro did not require approval of Congress.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, Congress is the one that declares war, but the commander-in-chief of the military is the president of the United States.
And he can do whatever he wants in that case?
I think there has to be justification, and I'm sure that justification came from, from legal authorities in the Department of Justice to let them know that, look, this is the basis of the capture. If you want to spring this guy out of Caracas, this is the only thing you can say. You can't say that we don't like this guy and we're going to overthrow the government. You have to follow the law. And I rather imagine that. But this all goes back to 2020 drug traffic indictment in the city of New York, following that extraordinary Saturday raid that took place back then. And, the Venezuelan president is not a nice guy. I mean, we don't want to lionize this guy, but he was asleep in his own bedroom, in his own palace. Or I still can't imagine
middle of the night.
They're going to have video cameras on their helmets. These guys train at the farm, the special forces. They're going to have these laser beams going all over, and you wake up to this in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I'd soil myself. What are you doing here?
Some of the other stories that are coming out after this attack this morning, and I don't know about you, but I saw gas prices yesterday at $2.35. Wow. No, that's wrong.
That's pretty cheap.
$2.35.
$2.35. Well,
but it's saying there's some stories out there. What impact will the United States attack on Venezuela have on oil prices? And they say there could be a little blip.
I believe this is the justification of that. When Maduro came in, he nationalized the energy assets that belong to U.S. corporations. And he just nationalized them, which if you were the corporation who had it nationalized, that's theft. And so there's this whole idea that the oil that's coming out of Venezuela, one thought is that, hey, that's our oil, we're going to seize it. So when they get out in international waters, I think there's been at least 2 tankers that have been seized,
right,
and maybe a third one. That's the justification that this was nationalized, and all the treaties for most countries, some of them go back to Canada and Africa, and some of them go down to South America. The justification is that we had a treaty. These were our corporations that owned these assets, and you cannot just steal them or seize them. So I think that part of the argument of seizing the tankers and dealing with that's the one side on the energy, and that's why our energy is so low right now, Terry.
And it feels good.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
I'm telling you, you see that. It just is. It's kind of like in all that we're seeing the prices being so high.
On everything,
and mostly on our food. We see in our energy, as you said. But so when you see something like that, it's just kind of a nice little bit of relief for a second.
All right,
$2.80, I was happy.
Yeah, $2.80 was happy. Right, anything under $3, I was thrilled.
I
$2.35.
did a quick search to the New York. I don't even know what to call the law records. Maduro was indicted in a 4-count superseding indictment with Diosdado Cabello Radon, 56, head of the Venezuelan's National Constituent Assembly. Hugo Armando Caraval Barrias, also known as
very nice, Danny.
as El Pollo. Pollo, by the way,
your
means
brrrs.
chicken. So El Pollo, 59, former director of military intelligence. All of these guys were indicted, but doesn't look like any of them has come back to face the consequences of the indictment. But there's a guy, Jesus Sanchez, Jesus Paces Hernandez Alarte. Yeah, we got Ivan Marquez. He must have been the. I'm sorry. We have a lot.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that this goes back to the Caracas military, to the Venezuelan military intelligence. All of this was a cabal that was bringing drugs into the United States. So that's the source of the indictment, as I'm reading. But so the operation will be justified as executing a criminal warrant and responding to an international drug cartel, which is what they're saying this is, in a very similar legal framework to the one used against Noriega. All right, in 1989. All right, we're going to take another break. You've heard us rambling on. We're doing the best we can to share with you what's taken place in
We'll talk
Caracas,
about the
Venezuela.
flowers that grow in Venezuela.
I don't know, but if
when
I was
we come back,
if I was waiting for my prom date, as long as we're waiting for President Trump to come up here, I'd be a little bit upset. 93 WIBC.
This is breaking news from the 93 WIBC Mobile News Center.
Good
Big
blue
stuff.
tie, and we'll listen live.
Appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, it's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like maybe like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, we're just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. the illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they call police. They were brutal. But they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana. And we have done that. It was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster. But it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it.
Well, that's President Donald Trump from the news feed that we have here from Fox and CNN. And what he said was that, just recapping, that it was an overwhelming force that came in. They were prepared with a second wave that was not necessary. What an eventful day when Pat Sullivan leaves the studio. I'm telling you what, who could have seen all of this coming? There'd been a lot of chest thumping for a while, but let's get back to Indianapolis now. Let's let the dust settle and We'll get back to a normal in Indiana, where I get on the weekends, get to look at the Queen of Radio and the Queen of Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Jack Phipps, thanks for coming in and watching this historic day.
It's been a day.
It has been a day. Terry Lynn, I don't want to put any pressure on you. I mean, this is a big day. Are we going to have a craft corner today?
Do you want to have a craft corner? Is there some
we
time?
want to have a craft corner.
We can do it. It's a very simple, easy one. This one is just one for the kids. This is kind of one for the kids.
Well, could Jack figure it out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
easy.
You know,
It involves peanut butter.
It's a
Great.
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
So
We'll keep you updated, by the way. You'll get the latest information coming up at the top of the hour. And, of course, WIBC.com. And you can follow us on all the social media platforms to keep you up to date as to what happens next. And as we heard, there might
there's
be
a lot happening. And
yeah.
and if you want to complain, it's Denny at WIBC.com. We're doing this comes down in the middle of a Saturday morning.
It's okay.
program. It's
I mean, this is
crazy
what
how
we do.
is.
This
Yeah.
station was built on this foundation of this station is news.
Right.
And so, yeah, this is news. And of course, you're going to get that news and continue to follow, again, us. And you'll hear the very latest coming up at the top of the hour.
Well, there's another type of invasion coming in. I'm not to make this light of anything, but I sent over some information to Jack this week about all the different critters that are trying to get into the house. Terry, you'd think that every home in central Indiana was under full-fledged assault, and it's not just the voles and the mice. Jack, what in the world's going on, and how do we protect ourselves?
Well, I'm having a lot of issues with possums getting in my backyard right now, under my deck. And then I set up a little camera in my garage, and I saw that I don't have just mice, but a rat that was in my garage.
Wow.
Now, I've not seen a rat in a long time, just on the loose.
Yeah. So it was a standalone garage. Again,
Yeah.
it's down in Broad Ripple, but
The only reason I forgive possums in any way is because they eat ticks. That I got no sympathy for possums because when I was a newlywed, Jane was at home and it was in the middle of winter and this possum wouldn't let her out of the house. And she goes, "This possum's hissing at me." I go, "What?
Yeah.
What? How did the possum find you?" "He's on the front porch, Den." And of course, I went home and had to scare off a possum.
yeah.
Yeah, but what about the mice? You say you got mice and rats?
Yeah, so I think everybody has mice at this point. I know at the store up at Allisonville, we're having some issues with mice getting into some of the bird seed. And it seems that no matter what you do, they're going to be hard to control.
You got some of the best mouse traps at Sullivan Hardware. That one that's called Jaws.
Yeah.
It's got a spring that would lift a garage door. And once you get that thing set, you have to stand on it to set it. There's no mouse, no rat, no
They can
nothing.
get out
You
of
could
that.
use that on the possum,
Like,
Jack.
probably
On the
could.
possum.
I do have a live catch trap for the possums. I would rather get that something. I don't know where I'd take it. I
Take it
guess-
to Sullivan
You
Hardware.
just take it to the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in some instances, they find their way back or at least closer.
Terry
it's not
takes
too
care
far
of
away.
Terry. You take care of feral cats. How about a feral
Take care of
possum?
I've got possum, raccoon. I'm not opposed to having them. I know the neighborhood probably hates that, but I'm not opposed to having them around. I like the nature.
I
hate
did
it.
have a
Like
little
watching
surprise at my house. I woke up one morning and saw in the dog bowl that few pieces of food left. There's a little mouse standing right in the middle.
Oh.
Flipped on the light and it scurries over under the
Oh,
dishwasher.
Human beings, we try to be fair because it's another species, but when it infringes on you, everybody. I used a glue trap once in my neighborhood in Speedway, and I thought my neighbors were going to kill me.
It's awful.
I know, Terry. Look at you.
I don't like the glue traps. I just don't like the
I came
suffering
into work
involved
and
in the glue
found
traps.
a glue trap where there was a mouse that had been caught.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing, but it's Terry. It's them or us.
I know, but I hope that there are better ways to get them.
Have you seen the one with the
Something
5-gallon
quick
bucket?
and easy and quick.
The 5-gallon bucket. It's got a little ladder for them to go
No.
up on. And then it's got a tilting platform, and they stand on that and they go down in the bucket.
It's a little
They
fun.
drown.
They're
Yeah.
living on the
Suffer,
edge. And then,
suffer.
It's not suffering. You're the man of the house. You got to take care of the house.
Got to be a better way.
There got to be.
Get them quick.
Those
If you're
little
going to kill them quick.
mice and squirrels will do quite a bit of damage, though.
Yeah,
with-
and
with
I've been
things
having
in the
trouble with voles. VOLES. Those critters, they make tunnels in the grass. They make tunnels. They don't go down. They have tunnels in the grass. They have tunnels in the snow, and that's how I knew I had them.
Yeah.
Because I saw them going through the mulch beds, and I wouldn't have noticed
And what
it.
damage are they doing to your yard?
Well, they're not. Okay.
I guess
It's just pissing me off. They're getting into my grass and making tunnels, and the dog goes out there and starts sniffing. I got to drag.
And
her
now everybody's tracking that.
Everybody's tracking that too. But it's amazing. We have coyotes out there, and when I take the dog out at night or in the early morning, the dog is smelling what people have been there. And that includes not just the deer and the coyotes. The coyotes are really weird. Coyotes poop in the middle of the driveway at the top of the hill. Now, why is that? Are they looking for people who are threats to them?
I think I did. My dad had just mentioned that in Vermont, their driveway's at the top of the hill, and they said they found a nice little coyote.
I think it's a lookout. I think that they feel safe up there. They can see all directions and everything. Well, the deer like to get off to the side. I mean, they're getting over by the fence row or they're getting out in the field. That's the way it is. You're listening to the Home and Garden Show. Thank you for your patience this last hour. We've been trying to follow what's going on in Venezuela. Thank you for your patience. We'll be back with you at the top of the hour with some more programming. Right now, if you do have a question that you'd like to ask Jack from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan, give us a call, 317-239-9393. If it's about heating or plumbing or whatever, you can call that same number. Terry's here in the studio, and we will talk to you soon. We're brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements, right here on 93 WIBC.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys, that really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools.
93 WIBC. Thanks for tuning in to your news source here in central Indiana. When you're on the road and you know something's going down, you keep it tuned to 93.1 FM. We will do our best to keep you posted. It's been a very eventful morning. We are going to go ahead with our usual and regular Saturday morning programming. We've got lots to share with you. Got to get Brian Wilkes on the horn. Everybody was making some pretty wild predictions about our weather in the fall. The winter had arrived so early, got bone cold for so long, and then all of a sudden it moderated, and we'll get Wilksy up here in just a second, but it looks to me like we're going to have some moderate temperatures this week, kids. Jack Phipps is joining me. Of course, Terry's here, but we got moderate temperatures coming. That'll be getting people out in their gardens.
People are going to want to get started, I think, a little early.
Yeah, and we don't want them to do that.
But they can start planting, like we said, the seeds, get your kind of spring garden seed starting ready.
Yeah, and don't forget for the seed swap event in a couple weeks at Hamilton County Master Gardener Association, which is at the Noblesville, Hamilton County Fairgrounds. The first 20 people that say, we heard the Pepper Ladies on, we heard the Pepper Ladies on WIBC, you're going to get a free packet. So,
and one of the two seeds are the seeds I was hoping to get. And she said if I wanted it, I'd have to go be one of the first 20.
Is
that Peppadew pepper I would love to have.
What? I don't even know what a Peppadew pepper is.
It's like a little small, kind of spicy, not too hot, but sweet. They usually have them.
Do you eat them alone or do you eat them in a salad? How do you eat them?
Oh, like it's just like a little accent, kind of like you put an olive or a caper.
Okay.
Hot, spicy, sweet.
Hot, spicy, sweet. Sullivan's on vacation this week. Allison is taking a break, and of course that's when everything breaks loose here in the world. Again, keep her tuned to WIBC. We'll do our best to let you know some of the post information that comes out of the news conference that we just heard about Venezuela's Maduro being captured along with his wife. And all of this is going to take place in the Southern District of New York, or the justice is going to take place, Southern District, New York. And the charges are narco-terrorism against Maduro, his wife, and several other people. We were reading the list before the noon break. It's an incredible indictment, and it's all about protecting Americans, seems to be the justification. Time will tell, and we will see. All right, Jack, here we go into 2026. Any new varieties coming our way? I've got my seed catalog. Seed catalogs come about this time of year because they know we've got nothing to do.
Yeah.
We just sort of sit around and look at these things. I think, I think I could do that.
Maybe a couple extra gift cards laying around.
Yeah, blueberries and everything. But anyway, any new varieties that are on the horizon that you've found out about?
I wish I could think of the names. I think the new varieties people see this year are going to be more in the garden centers versus a seed, just because it's a lot easier or more readily available for them to be grown in a greenhouse. So like we saw those firefly petunias that glow in the dark.
I'm not buying it. Pat has or they're not cheap.
No,
but every
like
time I go back,
$40 for a 4-inch plant.
I know, but I take them into the dark and I don't see squat. And then somebody else on the broadcast crew will go back there. Yeah, I think I saw it. And I'm thinking, do I need to go to the eye doctor? But have you seen them?
I've seen them, but I haven't seen them glow.
We're talking about firefly petunias. They came out 2 years ago. Pat ordered a flat and paid a fortune to get them. And he gave us all one, but I never got them to glow. The idea of phosphorescence in something besides fireflies and octopus and those type of things, we never see them in plants, but it'd be fun if it worked.
I think every time we do see it, it looks great online, and who knows how much that's been edited.
Something I've always wanted to tell, when does your stock start coming in? We start getting antsy the first time we get a good sunny day in February.
As do we. So we'll typically get some pansies in. We hate to say we'll get them in, end of February, but if we have a few sunny weekends or a warm enough weekend, people are going to want them, and we're going to have them.
Well, that's good. I mean, that whole idea is to stay in business.
Yeah.
That's a very important.
We'll have them hopefully, late February.
It's the Home and Garden Show, 93 WIBC. We're trying to get a hold of Brian Wilkes. Wilksy, if you're trying to call us, please keep it up because we want to hear what's going on with this weather. Brian Wilkes, of course, was the forecaster of the year at WXIN television. He's really one of the best we've ever known, and he's become a friend of the show, and it's certainly always glad to hear him. All right, Jack.
Can I throw something in real quick?
Of course.
I think you'll be very interested as well.
Ethan Patterson, go ahead.
Not to do with weather, but the device that you brought to us for Christmas.
Oh, the electromagnetic ice melter for the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
How did it do?
So we are 1-1.
Oh, yeah, it didn't work that one night.
It did not work. What was it? Friday morning, I think it was.
It was Friday morning.
Yep. My windshield, it wasn't coated with ice, but I did have to scrape it a little bit. So.
All right. Was the red light flashing? We're talking about an electromagnetic device that says it will keep your car thawed from the inside out. Pat and I said that it was hogwash because it would take electromagnetics is what we use in microwaves. But to get a solar battery, to melt a whole windshield, it would take easily 500 to 700 watts of a microwave to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan had good luck the first time. Second time, not so.
And I live in an apartment, so it's a great test subject to be so because there's 17 cars right next to mine that are in the same exact weather all morning. And they were all... I wasn't feeling frisky enough at 7:30 to see how much ice they had on theirs. Yeah. But mine was not coated, so I'm not willing to give up on it yet because I feel like it could have been worse. But we are, with the test subject, 1-1.
1-1. Is the little red light flashing on it?
Yeah.
All right, so that tells us it's all charged up.
Yep.
Well, how'd you do with the mints? Did you use the mints last week? With the sesame seed oil on
Yeah, they are very strong mints.
They're strong mints, and then you swallow the seeds. Had to make your breath fresh. I mean, was your lovely wife still willing to kiss you?
Yeah, she's been really on me about that whole brushing teeth thing. I don't know what the big deal about that is, but I don't know.
Been living with women. That doesn't always go.
Come on.
That well. All right, so Jack, I have been told that there are still weeds growing, and I did some research, and I'd like to know if you think that this is true. Chickweed. I know that we try to do pre-emergence on chickweed in August and September, but does chickweed still grow this time of year?
It does.
Yeah, and it's a nasty little, it's a polite invader. I mean, it's got a nice way about it. It's got a green pin, but it takes over so much.
It's growing much slower this time of year, but it's certainly still growing.
Yeah. What about henbit, the one with the beautiful little purple flowers? You don't know. Yeah, no. I don't know. Hopefully the little guys are getting froze out. Anyway, every time you think nothing will grow in the wintertime, a weed will figure it out. And the definition of a weed is a flower that is 100 miles from home. and it tries to take over invasive species type stuff. Been real proud of Hamilton County Parks Department about taking care of the Asian honeysuckle. Asian honeysuckle has literally taken over everything, and it's got this root system that puts out a chemical that prevents other things from propagating and going on. But Hamilton County and even my neighbor Tracy have discovered different ways to do it, whether it's volunteer Boy Scouts who come out for their Eagle Project and dig it up and cut it out. Tracy put in an electric fence all the way around her property and brought in a herd of goats. And those goats did their job, took it down. I mean, sometimes everything's got an enemy, and Asian honeysuckle's got the goats. Got the goats. You know, when they say, I'm going to get your goat. And I guess that's where
a very valuable goat.
93 WIBC. When we come back, we're going to try to get a hold of Brian Wilkes here to give you a weather forecast for the next 30 days. It's all over the board. If you go back to, the journals that we get in the wintertime, the Old Farmers or New Farmers Almanac, or even if you go to someplace like NASA, I mean, what do they know? We're going to give you some ideas of what the weather's going to be like here. And in the meantime, if you feel comfortable, give us a call, 317-239-9393, right here on 93 WIBC. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce my friend, the greatest Elvis impersonator Indianapolis has ever seen, and also the WXIN Weatherman of the Year, Brian Wilkes. Hey, Wilksy.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, brother?
Hello. I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. A lot going on today, but I wanted to get a recap of where we are looking on the weather. I sent it over to Terry, too. I've got the Farmer's Almanac, the Old Farmer's Almanac, National Weather Service, NOAA, and then I got Brian Wilkes. And Wilksy,
do you have the old Farmer's Almanac?
That's a good question. Terry says they're gone.
They're gone. This is it. No more Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, but
it's done.
Wilksy, you did better.
The farmers don't even farm anymore. They just set the machines out there like Roombas, and they go out there.
That is so wrong.
Hey, this is the wrong show for that, Wilkes. This is the wrong show for that.
You know how much I love the agricultural community.
I know you do.
You know that.
You look out for
I have wonderful, wonderful folks that will write in, and they mount. Hey, that is the biggest thing about weather is we have been AI for. That's just a fancy term for what we've been doing. It's called pattern recognition.
It's called
and who
guessing.
stands out in the field and watches the weather more than anybody, right?
That's why AI is so helpful. It can recognize patterns that many of us will miss, and whether it's the syncopation of how weather comes at different times of the day. AI can pick that up, but what I want to know...
But Denny, there's always going to be a deficiency no matter what we do when it comes to weather, because 70% of the planet is water. So it's even with the fastest and most powerful computer models that we have out there, and they do trillions upon trillions of mathematical problems and solutions per second, you still have to have the assimilation of data, and that's what we still lack out in the ocean. So that's the mystery. That's still the big mystery to unlock when it comes to forecasting. And by God, we have become so far advanced in terms of our accuracy. So,
hey, Brian, wondering, with all of the weather that we have had, are we out of a drought?
No, not necessarily. Just because we've had 15 inches of snow, that doesn't always equivalent to a lot of soil moisture. I mean, it's good to have the snow because that'll percolate down after it's melted. But no, there are areas of north central Indiana that are going to be due for some good rains here come spring. So maybe not be as impactful right now. But yeah, it's the last few years have been kind of interesting because we have had drought conditions by August, September, October, and then we get out of the planting season and we get into harvest season, and then we get into the spring, and all of a sudden, I think the last 2 Aprils we've had a very hefty rainfall. I think we had over 8 inches of rain. 8.88, I believe, was our April rainfall. So we are at a deficit by the end of the year, but then we were really good in the spring. And we had a bumper crop going for much of the year. So that's that's still a problem. It just seems like we go into these extremes from real dry, from real wet, and you got to find that sweet spot. But I think right now we probably need areas of north central Indiana up towards say Muncie, Kokomo, Peru. Those guys are the ones that are probably in the most need of some winter rainfall and some snowfall.
Okay, big time. Now, we were giving you credit for being right for the fall season. I thought you did a good job calling that. Now, you say that your pattern, that your ability to prognosticate is anywhere from 30 days to 45 days. I think that's what you told me last time. Where are we? Where are we for January and February then?
Well, I mean, from where we were at, to kind of put it in perspective, we nailed everything down in mid-November, saying it's going to get cold fast in December.
You did a good job. I compliment you, Chicago. I'm proud of you. But
hey, I'm a Hoosier, my friend.
Okay.
I've got 33 years in Indiana for forecasting weather, so I'm proud Hoosier. We are. And I thought, Denny, that that you remember the major swing that we had, guys, just back on last Sunday when we had that heavy rain and wind and the thunder and the lightning, and all of a sudden the temperatures dropped prolifically. I feel going forward now into January, we're going to see a few more of those storms. We're going to have a little bit of unusual warmth here and there. I would say that, we still haven't hit the sweet spot or the prime time of winter, which is generally the last 12, 14 days, maybe the last 12 days of January and the first maybe 10 days of February. So I think we're still in for some volatile temperature swings, but at least in the short term, not much is happening. I do feel that we're going to have some pretty decent, stronger, deeper low pressure systems that come up from the south and west. Now, whether that translates to snow, or it's going to be one of those weird things where it's warm and thunder and lightning, and then we get snow behind it, and maybe up the road, Lafayette or Chicago, or just depending on the storm tracks.
All right,
I do think we're going to see some of those bigger storms going forward for the next 3 to 5 weeks.
Okay, so let's do an either or. We're going to call this boxers or briefs. Do we have more chance of drizzle and freezing rain, or do we have more chance of high accumulations of snowfall?
I would say snowfall. I think the predicting or trying to forecast, freezing rain events is, good luck. I mean, my goodness.
Now, wait a minute, you big crybaby. You chose the profession. I have to go to a professional.
Did I back down from the challenge, Denny? I think not.
Okay. All right. So you think it's going to be more accumulation.
That's often a fickle. That's often, when you get an icing event, typically you're going to have a narrow band of icing, and on one side is going to be heavy snow and the other is going to be rain. But no, I would say I would be on the lookout for a couple of strong storm systems still to come through. I would venture to say that there will be a couple of good snows still. And I think my forecast was 24.8 inches of snow for the season. We're sitting at 15.2 and not much in the forecast for the time being. So I think we still have our chances to see some significant snowfall before we get out of this.
Cool. Well, listen, I'm awful proud for you as my friend. I'm proud for you for the designation of the best in Indiana.
Well, that was something, Denny. Thank you.
That was pretty cool. Well, anyway, and you've got, great I don't know why Gigi married you, but I think you're a pretty cool guy too. But anyway.
Hey, Denny, it's these good looks as well,
Yeah, did I mention Elvis impersonator? Brian, WXIN 59. Right, thanks for sharing your time with us,
Happy New Year, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
We'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to listen up and see if you guys have any good insights on needle cast and a prune and my spruce tree, because I'm going to lose it.
We'll take that on. You just hang up and then start listening to the radio, because
I'll hang up and listen for my answer.
I got Jack. Yeah, hang up and listen to your answer. Brian Wilkes, WXIN 59.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks
Happy
for
New Year, Brian.
Okay. All right, Jack. What's going on with needle cast? Are we thinking about that in the wintertime? I don't see it in the wintertime.
I think a lot of people finally see their trees that may be affected because they've dropped all the leaves. Deciduous trees have dropped their leaves, so you're seeing all the evergreens and everything that's
exposed. It a fungus? What is needle cast exactly?
A fungus that'll go around and then can kind of quickly take out an established evergreen in just a few years.
All right. So is it an antifungal that we're treating it with, like a dormant spray, or what are we hitting it with?
It is, but it's something that we, as a homeowner, you typically can't treat yourself. There's one very specific chemical, and that chemical name isn't coming to me right now.
That's all right. Well, we got to be careful because this is Wilkes.
Yeah.
Wilkes, about it.
So we always recommend the Cheva Tree Company come out, and if there's a mature tree that you want to keep, they can inject it twice a year, and that'll kind of prolong the tree every year that you continue to do
Earlier
that.
in the show, Mike called in about us rose bushes, but I get a lot of, when I run into people and they find out about the Home and Garden Show, they say, well, I got my maple tree. Can I trim that in the wintertime? And, my answer is, as long as it's not frozen, you should be able to still prune and trim, right?
You can, yeah. So really, you want to stint of warm weather before you do any major pruning. But if you have, the shorter amount of time it has to heal, the more cold damage you may get. But really, you could prune anytime if we have some warm weather.
We've had a lot of excitement with maple trees this year. They have been dying on the inside. And when I respond to people, I say you might want to call an arborist, because it could be from it could be insect damage. It could certainly be a water issue. And the water, like Wilkes said, it's all over the board. We've gone from dry counties and wet counties, but
how do you know that it's dying from the inside?
But when it's leafing out, you can look at the foliage and you see brown leaves. And my first thought is that's probably insect, but I'm not an arborist. And so what I do is I forward on their questions to a couple of arborists that I do know. But diagnosing tree foliage failures is not an easy task.
It can be tough. There are a few specific things that, can kind of guide somebody. Like chlorosis, there's the obvious yellowing of the leaf. We know what a nutrient deficiency looks like, and we could, help you figure that out. But a lot of times there are just things like the trunk on the inside of the tree is rotting out, and we're not able to see that, but a arborist could come out.
An arborist knows what they can do. Core samples. They have these little punch things like a punch biopsy that a dermatologist use. They go right into the xylem and they'll pull it out, and then they can see whether it's botanical or whether it's insect driven or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
Would you trust anybody that is going door to door right now and saying they want to trim your trees?
No, I would not.
We've got somebody in the neighborhood that's doing that.
Those are normally known as trunk slammers.
I
but
agree.
I will tell you this, that when I was in the HVAC business, if we didn't have sales, I went out door to door and I knocked, and I'd step back and I'd say, I didn't do my job for my guys and we need work, so I'm going to make you a heck of a deal on a furnace or an air conditioner. So I'm very sympathetic of people who have the guts to go out and do that.
I'm empathetic with, and I would support, but I've seen some people go around,
right now, they're doing it right now.
And those can be, that's a good point, Terry. They could be trunk slammers. Trunk slammers are people that normally come from outside Indiana.
Yep.
But if it's an Indiana firm that I know, and they said, look, we got people in the area and I'm trying to keep them busy because I'm trying to make winter payroll. Heck, I've been there. I had 1,200 employees across the United States. And when you run out of work, those are families that need to be fed. So I'm patient, but you can also smell a scammer pretty quick.
Well, if you're telling us it's not a great time to trim, unless it's, the weather's going to get warmer, but then again, it's going to get colder. So it doesn't seem like a good time. And these guys, you can just tell. And they're preying on, on the Far East Side, they're preying on senior citizens and telling them their trees are going to fall on their homes. And that's what they're doing. They're coming and they're scaring people.
But,
and I thought, it's wintertime. How do you know that tree is even
Terry,
dead?
I'm right there with you, and I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. Do not take advantage of people who you are scaring. You either sell nobly. Salesman is a noble trade.
Yeah.
But don't cheat.
No,
don't
I agree.
scare.
They make me so mad. Not a lot you can do about them but report them. But for the elderly, and I'm watching them do it. And I've tried to scare them.
Oh, what'd you do, fire
and say,
over their heads?
you guys don't belong here.
Did you fire a shotgun over their heads?
I
What'd
wanted
you do?
to. I've been watching them do it. And they're taking down trees. And
Well, I have a senior neighbor 2 houses maybe south of me. And I know she's living there by herself. And when I see some, 2 guys that go around house door to door trying to talk, and they'll linger outside. They'll talk to her at her doorstep.
That's right.
It's a cross between intimidation
15 minutes, they
and
won't leave her
fear.
alone.
They won't leave her alone. And they'll come back. They'll keep coming back and saying, that tree's going to fall on your house. We're just worried about you.
I have no sympathy for people like
I
that.
don't either. And they just
I would go after 'em.
infuriate me. And I want to say who their name is, but I won't. But it's just stop doing that and just
Check out
be
my
careful.
personal
And
Facebook
take care of your neighbors, Take care of your neighbors. Watch after them.
All right. It's been one heck of a home and garden show. My goodness.
I got mad at the end.
Yeah, we're still watching the
I'm
situation in
sad.
Venezuela. We will break in if we have additional
Absolutely.
information. Right now, the press conference is still dragging on just a little
Is
bit.
it still going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there. Hegseth is in there, and
Okay.
Rubio
Everybody
is
wants
in
to
there.
talk. Some Marco.
They're all
Yep.
answering different questions from different perspectives. You're listening to the Home and Garden Show. My name's Denny Smith. Terry Stacy's here. Jack Phipps from Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. All in here. If you got a question, give us a call. 239-9393, right here on 93 WIBC. 93 WIBC. It's the Home and Garden Show. One of our family invited his parents and his wife up to see us, so we've been doing old neighborhood hugs and handshakes. It's Eason's family. Aren't they beautiful people? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
All the
they
way-
really are. And it really is. We are such a family.
Yeah.
The Home and Garden Show is such a family that, we invite everybody in our family with our
I
family.
think what's cute is they're up north, and we think we're shivering and bad. They're taking a break coming down from Michigan, Indiana border, and they think they're on vacation.
They had
time.
big snow. They had like a foot of snow in some spots in Michigan. Quite a blast.
All right, so it's been a crazy day, and we've sort of thrown some of our stuff out, but I have saved this one for you. Predictions for 2026. Terry, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right. For technology, which of these is most likely to be normal by the end of 2026? So 11 and a half months. Fully autonomous cars everywhere.
No.
AI handling customer service without frustrating people.
No.
Voice assistants replacing smartphones.
Oh.
Or people trusting tech updates without hesitation. That ain't it.
No.
Well, believe it or not, it's AI handling customer service. They say that it is learning. Of course, AI is a language model. It digests, and it's doubling language every 12 minutes. I mean, they're doubling their knowledge every 12 minutes. When you think about that, pretty soon they're going to learn how to not aggravate people on customer service.
Actually, I would agree with that. On like DoorDash or food delivery, it used to be the biggest issue if you had the wrong order delivered, but now you just say they left something out and they'll give you credit for it.
Yeah, I don't
right
think it's going to
away.
be perfect. I think it's going to be less rage-inducing. One of the things I hate is when I'm on a website, hi, my name's Jana. May I help you? And this little thing in the square pops up. So you ask them one question. I said, I'm not able to find this. Give me just a moment. And I'm not giving you a
Yeah.
moment. You asked me if you could help me.
I've been waiting to talk in the first place.
But then eventually it just says, I mean, it won't give you any more information.
It really
There's the
doesn't.
frustration. It can
It's
only
the-
go so
Do
far.
you know why? Because they time how long you are on. When you log into a website, you have to be really, really careful because you are de facto giving them permission to monitor your activity on their site. So they know what you clicked, how many seconds you're on a page, and where you move to, and they use AI to analyze all that. But I learned that when I was in class, and I'm thinking, if people knew how much they know about you, they'd never get on the computer.
Yeah, I just still, I miss people sometimes. I miss somebody answering a phone
Yeah.
and me saying, I don't know who I need to talk to, but I have this and this and this. And somebody saying, let me get you to the right person.
All right, so here's another one. This is these are predictions for 2026, and we're talking about work and jobs. What work trend is most likely to expand in the coming year? Full return to the office 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone freelancing. Meetings getting shorter.
Oh, no.
4-day work weeks becoming more common.
Maybe,
could
but
be A or
I think it's
B.
everybody's coming back. I
Yeah,
mean, even
the
our own
5-day
company,
in-
everybody's coming
we
back
all got
on
the
Monday.
notice that we were supposed to be here 5 days a week. The answer is a 4-day work weeks they're going to go to 410s is what they're going to do supposedly.
Oh,
That's the prediction.
410s.
Yeah. All right, so productivity wins and
Okay.
meetings
I would do that,
sadly
'cause I'm already
survive.
doing
Yeah,
that.
410s.
All right, for money and spending in 2026, which financial behavior is most likely to increase this year? People saving more because they're disciplined?
No.
Fewer
No.
Fewer
We're
subs-
so in debt right now after the holiday. I mean,
Fewer-
not we as in a country, we as people.
All right, so
We
it's
are
not
so-
A. B, fewer subscriptions?
No.
C,
No.
side hustles becoming more common?
Yeah.
Yeah.
D, credit cards disappearing and going to your phone?
No. Oh, disappearing and going where?
Instead of using a credit card, you're using your phone, like Apple Pay.
Oh,
But I think people then just use a credit card on their phone.
yeah.
Actually, you were right. It's the side hustle. Everybody's
Yeah.
doing side hustles, and I mean everybody, because contractually we have learned that you cannot restrain trade. These employment contracts where it says you can't non-compete within 50 miles of your employer, those have pretty much been tossed out. So
I feel like I hear a lot of side hustles that aren't necessarily related to what somebody's main.
And do you know what it
job.
is? Inflation is turning hobbies into hustles.
Yeah.
It's about inflation, and people are trying to hang on, and yet they can't compete with their employer, but they do know other things that they can go to work on.
You know, I was noticing at the beginning of the first of the year, there were a handful of more states that raised the minimum wage. I have to say, what is it, $7.25 here in Indiana?
Yeah.
$7.25.
That's what it was when I was in high
nothing.
school.
Right. This has been years. Why isn't that something that? I mean, $7.25 is terrible. You can't.
What? Okay,
$7.25 is horrible.
Let me take the laissez-faire from that.
The what?
What laissez-faire means easy government. Keep the government out. When we say laissez-faire,
very
we want
French.
we don't. What is French, Terry? Work with me here.
Oui, oui.
But
I like it.
the idea that
Laissez-faire.
the idea that the government should set wages for any trade. Should they set what a car is worth? That Jack's got a '73 Impala and he wants to sell it. Does the government say what Jack should sell it for? And it's the same thing with your wages. Don't tell me what my minimum wage is. If I want to push a broom so I can learn a trade at $5 an hour, tell the government to stay out of my business. Now, if you're talking about what Mamdani is doing right now, he's saying, I want to go so everything's warm and comfortable. I don't want to be warm and comfortable. I want to work. I want to do something. So anyway, we're not going to talk about this. Housing and living. What housing trend is most likely to grow in 2026? Most housing trend. Everyone moving back into big cities?
No.
Tiny homes going fully mainstream?
Not yet.
Multi-generational living?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Housing getting more affordable?
No.
Okay.
That's not going to happen.
Did we say joiner homes? Those are great homes.
They're the best.
It is multi.
I think I was going to say multi-generational families moving together, which is an old-time thing.
It is. It's not just, as the middle generation, my mother could come to live with me.
Yeah.
My kids could come to live with me, and my grandkids.
That's right.
And that's how it was done for years and years and years, and the sense of community and family was really enhanced by that. But that is the production that we're going to see more of that.
Okay, I like that one.
By the way, do you know what you know what the saying is when your mother or mother-in-law or your father come back to live with you at your home?
I just heard this.
You build something in the backyard. It's called granny flats.
Oh, the granny flats. They really are. They're just little tiny homes.
They're little tiny homes in the backyards.
Yeah,
of
as long as
like
your
Carmel
homeowners
and
will
Greenwood.
allow you to
That's
do
right.
it. And a lot of them are like, no.
Okay, Terry, health and lifestyle. I know you're big on health and lifestyle. You run 4 miles a day, and I know how you
jiggle.
are.
I got the jiggle machine. Which has been incredible, mind you. It's as if I've swum.
Which health trend is most likely to stick
1,000 miles
by 2026? Extreme diets, wearables telling you to calm down, gym memberships replacing doctors, and people getting more sleep.
Oh, not those last two.
I think the wearable thing.
It's the wearables. That's right, Jack. We all have one.
Yeah.
It can take blood pressure. I still don't know how they do that, but they say that your smartwatch can now be programmed to take blood pressure. I don't know how they can do
Check
that.
for hypertension.
All
signs
the
of a
stuff.
heart
Does yours do
attack.
that, Jack?
Yeah, every Apple Watch
Yep.
does now.
Terry, your wrist judge,
Do you have
that judges
I have an
your
old
lifestyle.
one. I have like a first edition
Oh.
Apple Watch. It
Ooh.
may not.
Maybe not.
No.
All right, a couple more. Media
But I got the
and
jiggle machine.
Timekeeper now. Yeah.
Jiggle
Would you
machine.
tell him what the jiggle machine is? Because he keeps looking above
think
your
it's
belt,
a-
below
You
your
stand-
shoulder.
no.
He's trying to figure out what your jiggles
You
are.
stand on it and you jiggle.
It's
it
a vibration.
jiggles. It
belt.
It's a
vibrates.
vibration panel. No, it's a vibration
No,
panel.
but it's the new modern version of the belt.
Okay, what entertainment habit is most likely in 2026? Fewer streaming services, everyone cutting the cable, bundled streaming packages that look suspiciously like cable, or ads going away.
Which is least likely or most likely?
Which entertainment habit is most likely to come about?
Not the ads. The ads, you got to
They're
have
gonna
the
I
start-
think
ads.
it's bundling packages.
That's exactly right.
Bundling.
Jack, you are nailing this
He's
stuff.
cool.
He's hip, man.
Yeah, he
All right,
knows.
here's the tiebreaker. Which phrase will people most be tired of hearing by 2026?
6, 7.
A, powered by AI. B, let's circle back.
Yeah.
C, disruption. D, this will only take a minute.
I don't like disruption. I know Pat would say circle back.
Does Pat say circle back?
No, but it drives him crazy. at
Oh,
work.
okay.
It's that corporate talk.
Yeah, he's all right. It's powered by AI. It's obvious. It's going to be everything's going to be powered by AI. Well, you did good, guys, gals.
Thank
did.
you.
We had
All
a
right.
lot to make up for.
Yeah, I guess we do. 93 WIBC coming right back. If you want to call in, it's 93 or 239-9393. Well, I have to admit, this is the most interesting home and garden show I've been to in a long time.
Likewise.
Keep it tuned to WIBC. We'll keep you posted on Venezuela's Maduro being captured and brought back to Southern District, New York. Right now, it's the speed round, and what started off as kind of quiet, it was a crazy day, but the speed round is brought to you by
Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Great pricing on Lazy Boy, Indiana-made Smith Brothers Furniture. Mattresses made in Indiana and maintenance-free outdoor furniture. Free delivery up to 75 miles. ThompsonFurniture.net.
Such enthusiasm.
It's better than last time.
Yeah. Yeah, my thanks to Ethan Patterson, who hangs in there better than anybody in the whole. He's definitely a sports kid. He looks like a second baseman to me, but he's really pretty good on the board. And for those of you who don't know, we're still learning all this technology. We could not connect a Fox, and then all of a sudden, Ethan grubs it out like a hog digging up an acorn, and then we're connected to Fox. So good job, Ethan. It was good.
We're figuring out how can we even watch it.
How we can do it. All right, we've got one caller. Let's bring him up here. Aaron is joining us now. Hey, Aaron, how are you?
He's really pretty good on the board. And for those of you,
Ethan?
I think Aaron's talking to someone else right now.
I think it sounded like one of us, but anyway. Listen, during the week, if you've got any questions, if you'd like to have things for us to cover, just reach out to me, Denny at WIBC.com. I'm going to burst your bubble right now. Both Allison and Pat will be back next week. It'll be good to see Allison. And the Home and Garden Show will be back with you next week for sure. Again, if you need me during the week, it's Denny at WIBC.com. Hey, what did you think? Oh, have we got him now? All right, let's bring Aaron back up. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Aaron?
Happy New Year to you guys.
Hey, well, thanks, buddy. What's up? What you got for us?
Not a whole lot. You were talking to Brian Wilkes earlier, and I was lucky enough to play 9 holes of golf with him one time. I worked at ATA for 25 years and was, familiar with weather and everything. And your kudos to him are superior because he's an awesome guy and he knows everything about weather. So, but I wanted to wish you guys a happy New Year. Wish you all the best for 2026 and go from there.
Aaron, it's going to be one of the most amazing years in many of our lifetimes. There are so many things happening financially. In currency-wise, I get a feed from the financial firm, and there are just so many things. Politics, world economics. It is going to be a year that we will talk about for the rest of our lives. It's just really going to be interesting to be alive and well and living in central Indiana. Oh, he must have lost him. Anyway, thank you very much for the call. And Brad, let's see if we can get Brad up here. Hey, Brad, how are you? Brad?
No, this is Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, you'll do. You know what? I never liked Brad anyway. So what you got, Kevin?
Well, you guys were talking earlier about bowls, and Denny was about bowls and around the house and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I had a chipmunk, and I had bowls. I got moles and mice playing around my yard. I live out in the country, and I got this stuff from Ace Hardware called Sheriff Getaway or something to spray. It didn't work. I tried bleach. That didn't work.
Are you taking a shower every morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, I finally thought, what else would they deter these critters? So I got a run from the moles, and I got me 4 gallons of liquid ammonia. I poured some in that run, and I poured some all around my deck and around the house. And, in the last 6 months, they're all gone.
Well, let's not tell the Department of Natural Resources what you did, but let me tell you a story about ammonia. I had a couple plumbers working for me, and they were dog trainers. And they ask, one of the plumbers knew that they were training dogs, and they say, well, how do you keep the dogs from peeing on the bushes? And he says, well, we wait for them to lift their leg, and we shoot them with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And they say, really? Just with a squirt bottle? He says, yeah, you put it in a squirt gun, and you wait for the dog to lift his legs, and then you shoot him with the apple cider vinegar. Hit him on the nose or hit him on the tail. So the next week, the plumber comes back, and he says, I don't think I want to train the dog the way you do. And the plumber, or the one plumber that was the dog trainer, says, well, why is that? And he said, because I tell you what, when I hit that dog with the ammonia, he yelped and yelped. It took me an hour to catch him. And he said, we didn't say ammonia, we said vinegar. So this plumber had shot this poor dog with ammonia, and that's a powerful, that'll scare your wife away, man.
Well, it got rid of my critters.
You got rid of your critters. Sometimes it's the same thing. Hey, listen, thanks for the phone call, okay?
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Take care. All right, so now maybe we can go to Brad. Let's see if we got Brad up here. Just a minute. Hey, Brad.
Hey. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
This Southside, Brad?
No, this is, I don't call that much.
Okay.
I just wanted to tell real fast how to get a national park pass, because they were on a talk show yesterday and they brought it up. I'll tell you how I did it. There may be other offices. I went to Bedford, Indiana. It's open Monday through Friday, kind of like banker's hours. Went in there, got a lifetime veterans pass, and then the subject of service-connected disability came up, and that upgraded to benefits, camping, and different things besides just getting an entrance fee for free. And I had to have proof of a letter of the service-connected disability, and also the state. If you go to any state park and you go to the park office with a letter proving a service-connected disability, you get about a half-price state park pass as well.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that because I heard them talking on a talk show, and they never really explained, and I wanted to tell them there may be other park offices you can do this at, but I did mine through Bedford, and any state park office will do the discount for the state park passes.
Brad, I really appreciate you telling me this. My brother Tommy was at Corpsman in Vietnam, and he sustained some injuries, and he loves the state parks. I bet he doesn't even know anything about it. So I appreciate the community service, at least telling veterans, especially with disabilities, that they can get in at least half price. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. That I had not heard that.
Pass is for any veteran for free.
Any veteran for free. That sounds good. Well, thanks for the service, and thanks for giving us a call, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You bet. All right, it's going to be an interesting week, kids. We got just a couple of minutes. Terry, how do you think, what do you think will be the news story of the week?
Oh, it's going to be Venezuela this week. And then what else? What else are we thinking about?
Well, the legislature is supposed
everybody's
to come.
Back, right?
Everybody's back, I think, now. So anyway, did you see that the Newsmaker of the Year was named by the IBJ? Did you see who it was?
No.
Governor Braun. And it's probably right because he had everybody angry at him. So he probably was the newsmaker. There were a lot of different things. If you're not a fan of the IBJ, you should be. They categorize and they put out lists for us of we're the biggest employers, you know, what is the new business. And it's business and legal oriented. It's really a lot of fun.
Towards the end of the week, though, it's all going to be about IU.
IU and the Peach Bowl. All right, Jack, any last messages of things we should not do in the winter to plants outside? Just leave them alone?
Just leave them alone.
Leave them alone. And inside, again, thanks for bringing in these plants. We got
They're
the
beautiful. I get to go home with the lettuce plant.
Oh, that's not what it's called. What's the one with
elephants?
the big...
Staghorn fern.
Staghorn fern.
Oh, that's a fern?
So it's a staghorn fern, and the variety is that elephant. I just want to say elephantitis, but
I want to say that too, but it's not elephantitis. That's when your feet get real big, right?
feet, hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'm surprised it's a fern because it's got that fuzzy leaf. What did you call it? Lamb's ear, Terry?
It feels like a lamb's ear, kind of that velvety.
So you've seen those
leaf?
big ferns that grow almost like antlers?
Yes.
So same family.
They're staghorn.
This is just a bigger leaf variety of it.
I can't wait for it to even get bigger.
I want to thank Jack for coming in. whenever Pat's gone, I get to relax just a little bit because when Jack comes in, he really comes with the A game. And if you ever want to find him, he is at about 113th and Allisonville Road. It's on the east side of the road. It's Allisonville Home and Garden. But
Danny,
Jack,
I appreciate that.
it's really good to have you come in. You bring your A game. And I don't know if you watched, but when the Pepper Ladies were here and you were explaining these plants, they were all ears. They were done and ready to go, but I know you're handsome, but I think they were interested in your plants.
It's fun when you can kind of share something. So I was learning from them, you know, they were learning a bit from me. And that's fun regardless of where you are. You know, just kind of.
Yeah, if any of you want to get in touch with Jack or the Pepper Ladies, you reach out to me at denny@wibc.com. I'll send you some contact information so you can reach out to them. The Pepper Ladies are the real deal. Remember, in a couple weeks, it's going to be the Hamilton County Master Gardener Seed Swap. Starts at 9 a.m. The first 20 that say, we heard about the Pepper Ladies on the Home and Garden Show, you're going to get a free seed packet. And Jenny will not disappoint.
And that's out at the Hamilton County Fairgrounds?
Hamilton County.
In Noblesville.
On Pleasant, yeah. All right, and Terry, thanks for coming in. Any quick 10-second forecast
We'll
for tomorrow?
talk to you tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. Denny and I will be there along with Kylan Talley, and we will get you set for the Colts game and a whole lot more. Hoping to check in with Don Fisher, too, about IU.
93 WIBC.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.